So add a couple minorities in the story, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, just peppered with some like Guatemalan nurses.
God. So I have this patient that's been the bane of my existence. She's basically been non-ambulatory for like 3 years mostly because she's been lazy, except and then at some point when you haven't been walking long enough, like it actually like now you can't get up and walk. So she's been at her facility for much longer than most people are because she can't walk. Anyway, she's super weird. She's hyperverbal, very particular, odd, bane of my existence. Well, today she got in trouble because she's been stealing the silverware and plates. Which, like, to be fair, like, her room is always kept, like, super dark. Like, I think she had her husband, like, show up and put blackout curtains in her room. And there's like, a whole bunch of shit in there. So, like, it's possible. But she, like, denies it. I'm not stealing your silverware. Why would I steal your silverware? That's weird. So they told me, hey, when you grab her for therapy, we're going to go through her room to get our silverware back. Like, and our stuff back. Because we need it. Like, okay, fair enough. I don't know why I need to know that. I always take her out at the same time. Not a big deal. Well, I'm glad they told me because it turns out she thought they might take the stuff back. So she had silverware in all of her clothes. Which, so like, I'm trying to help this lady stand. We're working on getting her standing strength. So I'm like real up and close and personal and notice when like a fork is stabbing me, you know, from her sleeve.
Oh, she was just happy to see you.
I've never had one. Oh, God. Yeah. So she had about 20 different, like, utensils stuffed in her clothes. That then, like, she's trying to explain to me why she needs to keep. It was just a disaster. And I'm thinking, this doesn't happen to anyone else, does it?
I don't know. Kujus
Do you want to know that question?
Kujus has another friend named Kevin. And he's a nurse. And he was hearing a bunch of stories when he had him over recently. Kujus being the French-Canadian Kevin. Apparently this Kevin is just sort of a piece of shit when he sees stuff going down, like he works in the ER. If he sees stuff going down, he changes his shirt so people don't ask him to do shit. And yeah, he was telling a story about how this dude was saying, oh yeah, my boyfriend's into anal play or stretching or something like that, and one day, like it happened gradually. His boyfriend will only pay for one diaper a day, by the way. So the guy's incontinent because one day the guy was on his way home and just saw a traffic cone and was like, yeah, let's try this.
Nope.
Yeah. So it's not just you. Weird shit happens the whole medical profession.
That's worse. You know what? I'll take an old lady who is just carrying spoons on her over that any day.
We have this woman, because one of our communities is a 55 plus community.
Lucky you.
Yeah. So one of the ladies that hates us, despises us, leaves us the worst reviews. She drove, like, we had just had a hurricane come through, and the streets were still partially flooded in some areas. And she came up to this lake on one of the roads that hadn't drained yet, and it's like 4 feet deep, and she's just like, fuck it, I'll drive through it. So she drives about halfway through and gets stuck. And the way that she tells the story is like one where she was fighting for her life, and people refused to come and save her until finally this one man came and helped her out of the car. But what actually happened is she went to go drive through it, and the land development guys were there like, hey, don't drive through this. And she's like, you're not the boss of me, sonny. So she drives through it, gets stuck, and they're like, hey, ma'am, just get out of the vehicle. Like, we'll have a bulldozer come through and tow you out. Like, it'll be here in like 20 minutes. And she just refused. She just refused to get out of the car. So she's in the car, which is flooded at this point, just screaming that they won't help her. They're just like, ma'am, just leave. Like, it's 4 feet of water. You're not below. It's probably less than that. It's probably like 3 feet of water. You're fine. Just leave. Like, you can't. The car's not going to get any more flooded. It's flooded.
Oh, God, why won't anyone help me? You're all just staring at me and looking at me and won't help.
So finally, a guy comes over. He's like, maybe she can't open the door because the water is preferentially different. Nope. Opens it up with no problem and just like holds her hand as she leaves. And she tells that story every time she talks to us. She's like, you have to understand, when I first moved in, my car was flooded. Just omits all the important details that make it her fault. And nobody came to help me. And then the next day, you guys canceled my internet. Oh, that's... Yeah, it feels like the universe is really picking on you, lady. I understand.
Then you're like, yeah, it flooded your car too.
And then I'm like, yeah, and I'm the one that turned it off. Get fucked.
Yay, old
And
people.
I'll do it again.
Well, to be fair, I'll send my patient down to live next to this lady, and then the two of them can take turns on who wants to be craziest. Like, it can be a competition.
Do you think it could be a trade? Like, I'm willing to draft one of yours if you draft one of mine.
I mean, that's how we treat some of our patients sometimes. I can't deal with this one again. All right. If you'll just take her, I'll take two of yours, and this will be okay.
Fair enough. Hey, I wanted to tell the story about the pugs tonight because it's the best story I know about D&D at least. But it's already 8:15. Sorry, my boss called at 7:59 because she was having some Wi-Fi questions. So I had to
Tell it anyway.
I had to work really hard for that review that I got coming up. So
That's right. We want to hear a story.
do we really?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Sure.
Austin, you're gonna have to help me out here.
I'll remind you of details.
A while ago, probably 4 or 5 years at this point, Austin,
Jesus Christ.
one of Austin's friends, and was John in that game? John Landry?
I think so, yes.
We had cycled through, and none of us wanted to DM. And we were like, let's just find a game and like, or make something and like ask for a DM to come along. And somebody found it. I want to say it was Austin, but not Austin's fault. Austin found someone on Roll20 that was willing to DM for us, and all of us got into a game. We thought, this is going to be great. Like, we only have one variable to worry about. And the guy seemed okay at first, except immediately when we get in the call, we just hear heavy panting. And at first it's just like, but then it's like a lot of panting, like in chorus. Like, there's a concert of fucking panting. And we're just like, dude, are you okay? Sounds like you're breathing really heavy. He's like, oh, that's not me. My pugs just gave birth, and I've got like 8 of these fuckers in the house.
It was a lot of breathing.
It was so much breathing. And like, I couldn't understand. It was like, is there anything you could do with your mic to adjust that? Because I feel like if it's sensitive enough to pick up the pug's breathing, it's got to be picking up your heartbeat. Like, it's bad, man. Like, there's nothing I can really do about it. Let's just roll some dice. Well, in addition to having this constant barrage of panting, like, sometimes there'd just be things like falling over in the background, and he'd just be like, pugs are so stupid. This one fell off the bed. Now it doesn't know how to walk. It was just stupid shit like that all the time. But actually, we were having a pretty good time at first. And then really stupid things would happen, like, he said, like, me and M were both playing rogues, like, different variants, and he said, you can't sneak attack, like, this enemy. And it was like, why? It's like, because it said so.
It was like a helmed horror.
Yeah.
So he was like, oh yeah, the inside's empty.
It's like, well, it's like, I like really fought for it. It was like, you know, well, what, I target the straps that hold it together. It's like, no, it doesn't have any of those. Fuck you.
It doesn't have any of those.
Yeah. Then, like, it was really weird with, like, Channel Divinity, just minor rules things. All in all, still having a decent time despite the panting. Then we go to this town. And in this town, there's a magic item vendor. And we go in as men, and she wants nothing to do with us. Like, she's really rude, standoffish. There's no discounts on anything. M's character goes in, being a woman, and immediately it's a different reception. This NPC starts flirting with her and starts offering her discounts, and she's like, oh, well, my character is straight. Suddenly, this NPC grabs, like, her dick bulge and is like, oh, well, I got something you like.
And everyone was like, what?
So then Austin and I, like in great camaraderie, we burst in on suddenly, like unexpectedly. Hey, we're here to talk about magic items. You love it? We're back for more magic items, and we decide that like this NPC is such a piece of shit. We're gonna rob her. So we come up with this extremely elaborate plan to rob her. But the first thing we have to do is like get all of the guards out of the area because like there's 2 posted by the door for no reason. So my character with like an 18 charisma dresses up as a prostitute.
My God.
And like I try to lure one of the guards away. And like it works. It works out great. I'm like, "Oh, meet me over here and we'll have some fun." So the guards get lured away, but then this other guard shows up and he's like, "Hey, can I get in on this action?" And I'm like, "Oh, sorry. I only do group work." And he's like, "All right, let me grab 30 to 40 of my closest friends. I'll be right back." And I'm just like, "Guys, I made a mistake. I don't know what to do. Abort."
The whole time that's happening, I am also cross-dressing at like the tavern, and my job is to distract the innkeeper or the magic shop owner, whatever the fuck her name was. And so like we're just at a bar. It's just awkward flirting, right? And that's the setup. So we get her out, we get the guards out, and then Emily breaks in and steals a bunch of shit. Because fuck that bitch. And so while Tony's getting gangbanged by guards, I'm getting sexually harassed at the bar. And then, like, does she teleport back? What the fuck happened? I don't remember.
Her rogue tripped a fucking magic alarm in the shop, and then she knew she was being robbed, so she just went back.
Wow. Disappointing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Anyways, secret
Thoughts are
sex
heavy
dungeon.
Breathing.
Yeah, like, all the while,
Correct.
like, I'm outside, like, trying to avoid what is, like, 40 or 50 guards that are hunting me down like I owe them money. Right? And
Not money.
You owe them sex.
yeah, I owe them a currency at any rate. And M's character gets knocked out by, like, sleeping gas, right?
It was like a sleep glyph of warding or some shit
Yeah.
like that.
And then wakes up strapped to a sex dungeon.
Like in a rack.
Yeah. And then, did we kill her, or did we just burn the place down?
We just set it on fire and left.
So I think we knocked her out or something, but then, like, M was vindictive, and she's like, "I burned the place." And, like, there's art of this moment. Like,
Oh my god.
yeah,
There is.
right. And, like, that's... We tried, at that point, to make the game enjoyable, because, like, it was such a fucking shitty game to be in after, like, the initial start. But, like, even, like, shenanigans with cross-dressing could not save how awful it was with the rapey Futanari fucking
It was
shopkeeper.
just out of nowhere. It was just completely out of left field.
Right,
We were
like,
like, oh,
up
this
to
guy's
that
got some
point.
weird rules. Anyway, she's got a dick. And I was like, oh, okay, but why does that matter?
Suddenly you're in his magical realm.
Yeah, it was so
Yeah.
bizarre, man.
It was the thing. You missed the best part, though, which is that's when we established that Owlbear's favorite part of a person is
With
the
their
kneecap.
kneecaps, yeah. Like one of the early quests, like we go up to this tower that has like a bunch of people that are dead, missing their kneecaps, and like he was trying to like tell us that there was an enemy in the area, and we're like, "What enemy could it be? Intelligence check." And he's like, "Oh yeah, it's an owlbear. Owlbears love kneecaps. You meet a guy named Grill, and he's been missing kneecaps. He's still alive though, just doesn't have knees." It's fucking ridiculous. Anyways, about our own.
That was my favorite part of that.
Yeah, because it was still
The
fun
kneecaps.
before like all the harassment started. Anyways, let's go ahead and play some Dungeons and Dragons. So just a little FYI. For right now, we're going to do our time starting at 8. We're still going to go to our regular time. I'm going to think more on this and see what we want to do in the long term. And I felt like I had something else to say, but I didn't write it down, so it doesn't exist.
So, I mean, I understand if you guys don't want to move things around, but, like, also, if we started an hour late and just ended at the same time, like, it's shorter sessions, but it maybe makes things more reliable overall, you know?
I
I
feel
would
like
rather-
you're trying to cope with the fact that the game got fucked up with something that's out of our control. And we don't need to think about it that much. This is
Pardon
what
me?
works for everybody now. Yeah, we don't need to justify it. It's fine.
Well, I wasn't justifying it. I was trying to find a way to make it work for everybody.
Yeah.
So,
So
you guys weren't going to bed too late, and
right. So there's no option. I don't want to start in the game any later. I don't really want to start later either. And it might just be kind of the bed that, has been made for us. But, like, right now, we'll see how it plays, and we'll discuss it another time.
Okay.
Worst case, it'll only be for 6 months.
Don't worry, we'll just die right now.
'Cause you
Jan,
know, then
how do I
then they,
kick
like,
people from the server?
what? I'm
What?
saying in
Gently.
6 months it'll be
Uh-huh.
fucking reverse daylight savings, so we'll
Yeah.
be back to normal.
Yeah, but you were talking, and I was affronted by that.
Oh, okay.
Anyone want to do the recap for an inspiration?
Cop was racist. Starting fight. Ren has poor boundaries.
Is it racism though?
Classism?
They were human at one point.
Let's go with classism.
Yeah, only you knew that they were minorities.
Well, Ed is a mage. That is an unlicensed mage, sir. So.
The serial numbers are filed off of her.
Yeah.
Did you even ask for like a license? How do you know she's unlicensed?
Charlie made it pretty clear she wasn't wearing any sort of indication of the Mages Society, and that Mages Society very carefully do, because there's so much suspicion, and it's half the reason I went off half cocked. Excuse me.
You
I
know
think
what?
it's more of
I
a
really,
pride thing than a requirement.
yeah, I really don't want to agree with you, but you are technically correct.
Uh-huh.
I do feel,
Have you started recording?
yeah.
Okay, perfect. We're good.
it's going to be like green.
Body cam on.
Correct.
All right. Recap, inspiration, cop. You were going to meet with some people, then you're not meeting. Currently, to sum up the events here.
I can do a Nova recap. It will be vague.
Please.
If you think it's inspiration worthy, try your luck. The worst case scenario is I give it to the enemies.
That's pretty bad because scenario considering we're outclassed. Dear Diary. So things didn't go well. As typical, no one listened to me and made their own plans, and so, well, it started off with we've made it back. Arthenos was going to seduce what's-his-face, and we were going to complete our mission and go home safe. Instead, Arthenos said something, I don't know, I wasn't there, I wasn't listening. It got kind of crazy, but we got the genie guy trapped in his thing. I don't know, it's details, Then we made a plan to meet with, we argued amongst ourselves whether or not we should go back and give the genie guy to the other genie girl, or if we should try to meet the Dragon Queen's embassies. Embassies? Interseas? I don't know how to spell it. There's no
Emissaries?
autocorrect. There's no
Emissary.
autocorrect in this diary. All right. So anyway, this girl shows up with like black robes like she's important, and she's got a couple flunkies with her. And then Ren apparently recognizes her as this childhood crush, and she's not even pretty. And then tells her what we're doing, and then things just went tits up. I don't know. It was some impressive magic stuff that I need to investigate and learn more about, how they did some of the things. But as of right now, I think we might be fucked. So, dear diary, this might be my last journal entry. If it is, I want everyone to wear pink at my funeral. And, yeah, make sure everyone cries. It's sad.
Excellent. Take an inspiration. Just want to give you some idea. I did not go back through the chat log and figure out how mirror images was supposed to work. Instead, I'm just going to say that the cop took away 2 mirror images, and I think we're all going to agree that that's for the best.
Sure. Also, that 26 and the mirror images are 2 separate lines, right?
Yeah, it does not have 26 mirror images. Her AC
Yeah,
is currently 26.
Yeah, just wanted to make sure.
All right, so that pretty much recaps us at the start of the round as Rin comes in heroically. You bait and switch and stand defensively in front of this mysterious mage in the door.
I forgot.
Heroically, villainously, one of those.
Oh yeah, I'm the villainous character. All right.
You guys are making a strong case for why qualified immunity needs to die, so Arthanos, it's yours.
Oh, is it my turn?
Top
I-
of the round.
I cannot see the map, so I don't know.
Can't see the map or the turn order.
Is it?
Yeah. Also, I cannot see the turn order, but
How?
We're on the splash screen, dude.
yeah.
Oh.
I also can't see Edrith.
I thought you were
That's
like you
easy.
couldn't see the map last week, and I was like, here you go.
I mean, I can't see you either, but
You gotta solve it.
Have a map.
oh
guys.
yeah, cool. I'm on 12p again. All right, whatever. So it is my turn. Is she really slower than me?
Just
I'm not gonna
barely.
complain about it. I'm not gonna complain about it. All right.
Oh, actually, ugh. I changed out her token and I deleted her. She
Wow.
probably is.
I think she was like a 23. Is that it?
She was either 23 or 24, wasn't she?
I can't remember if she was right before me or right after.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put her at 22,
Okay.
and again, I think like everybody can benefit from that.
You only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to fireball.
One chance.
Yeah. All right. So first thing is Cat's gonna fly out here, fly over here, and then breathe lightning at her.
All right, let's make that dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, I want to see. I want to see a failure on. Well, that meets it. God damn it! Oh!
Hold on, I wouldn't count me out just yet. Do I have anything here? God, she has no constitution. Yeah.
Yeah, using an Archmage. Archmage has like dog shit constitution.
Yeah, it's a very poorly designed. I mean, I guess it's accurate, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a glass cannon.
Does Roost just pop back into existence up there?
Rustamane will, in fact, pop back into existence
Oh, thank God.
and suck
That's what I was worried
all
about.
of the air out of the room.
Well, doesn't he do that on a 20?
He hasn't stopped.
Oh, is it like okay? It's just an aura he maintains or something?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought he would have to do it.
Even
Again.
when he's incapacitated?
Let's see. He was only gone for one round, right? So I guess
Yes.
was he gone for more than one round? Because it would have ended.
No, roughly. I don't know. Do you guys remember?
I mean, we could refer to the chat, but
Yeah, I don't think she made any Constitution saving throws. Or if she did, it wasn't more than one, and it would have been a success. Because otherwise, he would have been back, right?
I think that actually checks out. So we'll say he comes back and immediately starts sucking the air out of the room.
Okay. Now I don't know what to do.
You had 2 weeks, man.
Yeah, but I didn't expect this part to work.
And like honestly, like he's been really dreading it for 2 weeks.
Oh, totally. Yeah, just.
He brought it up
Really?
at least 5 times, like in other games.
Well, I was just, absentmindedly thinking about it. Fuck it. Now I can't let Roost die. So I'll come up here and boom and blade this thing.
Okay, you should.
But it's lightning damage, not thunder.
You should not be doing that much damage. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I mean, take 8 off, and then that's how much it's
how
actually
about what a
doing.
bummer is I have to do it.
Wait, take 8 off.
Yeah, because he's doing his fucking big suck thing, so the thunder doesn't happen, and I'm doing lightning damage instead.
I might have to.
You
do
just
one.
didn't want to roll a regular attack roll to make my life easy.
This is the one that I have made. So the
I'm
other
still
one's
gonna
also
let you kill this monster despite my annoyance.
You know what? Fine. There it is. I fucking ignore the crit now. Fucking, I can't win. Just kill me.
Will do, bud. As your cat washes this breath of lightning over her, you can't hear her, but she seems annoyed. Parts her hair back out of her face and starts to cant a spell at you. Anything else for your Arthanos?
Oh, I hate this. How far did I move? 25 feet. I'll move over here? I don't know. I think I'm out of line of sight for there. Maybe not. That'll be it.
You do not hear this, Arthanos, but suddenly you see this black necrotic energy with swirls of purple mist start to emanate from this ghast here on the right
Uh-oh.
as she channels a spell. Going once, going twice.
I don't have it, man.
And that is what she will do
Is
on
there
her
no air in the
turn.
room?
She's pretty far out.
No, I meant for like, I don't know, if somebody wanted to counterspell.
Well, I think one of us has counterspell, and it's
Uh-huh.
not me.
Certainly
Oh,
not
she
me.
might be.
She might be out of spell slots.
Who?
Me?
You're the only other caster.
Sorry, I walked outside.
She
to
might
get
be without
Okay.
air, so she can't use vocal.
Oh, that's true.
I think counterspell is the one of the only spells that doesn't require anything for
It's
it.
only somatic.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, it's only
Uh,
somatic? Okay.
have it. I will do counterspell.
All right, your
What am I
DC
counterspelling?
is 15.
Okay,
That's a
what if
DC
I
already.
just roll and tell you? You just trust me.
Yes, that will work. I assume this goes both ways, right?
Wait, did we kill Nakash?
It's a little targeted of a response. I don't know. All right. You counterspell, and again, she just furrows her brow and looks annoyed. You hear her say something. Well, you don't hear her, but she says something, and Ren and Osborne, it's almost like she's speaking to the scepter that she's carrying.
Archmage, more like massive bitch.
Excellent.
Nova does a little tiny
Well done.
like triumph dance, and then like realizes that she's still in the middle of battle and stops.
All right. This man right here has no one near him to fight. He's going to just maintain his stuff on the initiative of 20. The Ghost, no longer empowered by that black swirling energy, is going to make his way here and strike out at Nova. She's got those pesky counterspells.
I did that dance and it just pissed everyone off.
Would you believe that I'm on Whisper only for some reason and I rolled a 24?
I mean, you have been nothing but honest and amazing and a great DM, so...
Doesn't matter, I'm posting it. Where's the chat? There's the chat. Putha!
That's a 24.
And it did good damage, too. How do I turn his shit? God, I have to run the whole damn thing.
And then con save?
Yeah, she have concentration on something?
No.
Yep.
But isn't it a constitution for...
Oh, for the paralyzed? Yeah, go ahead.
Unless you're spoiling that she's undead or something.
Where is...
Well, success.
Is 12 okay?
Sorry, I'm trying to fix his character sheet. A 12 is good enough. You suffer 14 slashing and otherwise are not paralyzed.
Okay.
Also, it doesn't say here that elves are immune to this. It's only ghouls that you're immune to.
Did they like update it to remove that lore? Because that kind of sucks.
Wait, why would I be immune to paralysis?
It's,
You're immune to ghoul paralysis or gas paralysis specifically.
Oh,
It's
It's
weird.
like a thing.
I did not know that.
Yeah, well, it used to be at least. I swear it was in 5e. Alright, that is its turn, and next up we have Gex, my man, with new powers that you might have forgotten about from 2 weeks ago. Please don't treat this like other games that we play, and feel free to use your abilities, especially the ones that might be taking things.
Remember that barbarian?
Don't try to
that did
change him,
rage?
Tony.
I'll be back immediately.
I know I wrote it down. Let me just make sure. I did. But
Pepperidge Farm
was I
remembers the barbarian
paralyzed?
That did rage.
I think
I
you
don't think
saved
you
out
were
your paralysis. I think you just lost the one turn.
All right, then I'm just going to slap the shit out of this guy who's looking at me like a face hug. With advantage. Well, not advantage. Was it +2 for flanking now?
+2.
Hacha!
Alright, a 16 to hit is sufficient, and he suffers 14 damage from your snack attack.
I then will move to the chair and have a nice seat.
Alright, you have mobile, right?
Yep.
Excellent. You take a casual seat in the chair. Rustamane does not seem pleased about it. On the initiative of 17, this creature is going to turn towards Arthanos and try to strike out at him. He's going to give you some slishy-slashy clawies.
Oh, he's gonna try.
Yeah,
Hey,
that's all he can do.
any suggestions of what I can do?
Osborne, you're up.
It's his zombie. Ren, she's with the enemy.
You don't know that for sure.
She came here and I stabbed at her. That was 6 seconds.
All right. Now, normally I'm not too... Okay. Go ahead and wait for your next one. Normally, I'm not too concerned about this, but he is taking a defensive stance. He's going to give her half cover, which is an additional +2. But her
Her AC is
shield,
28.
her shield is down on her turn.
Oh, okay.
So she's at 23.
23. Yep.
I mean, it's not impossible.
Yeah. Motherfucker.
See, it's almost like I said that just to deprive this moment from you. That's why
This
I
has
want-
been a theme, though, with Osborne's attacks. I feel like the second one has always been the better roll.
Yeah, actually, wow. Yeah. All right, you strike out at them, but with Rin defending her and her own guile, she is able to dodge those quick strikes. And Nova, you're up.
Okay. I would like to. Sorry.
Rage.
So in my other campaign, there was this Swedish girl who was playing a Dragonborn, and she was determined to rape this NPC because it was part of her culture.
What?
Yeah.
I'm
It's,
gonna maintain
it's
this
still-
till it-
It's
Huh?
still
How'd
a
that go?
negative air situation in here, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So interesting enough, he was only given the one command, and he doesn't really have an easy way of getting new commands because
Yeah.
nobody can speak to him.
I mean, there's a pretty easy way. It's just gonna cost me an action, but that's okay.
Can I try? Oh no, illusions, verbal. Okay, I stab the guy in front of me. Like I try to say some things, realize again I can't say anything, and then just stab.
Minor illusion, I think, is just somatic.
Now you could risk provoking to try to get out of the room, but that's up to you.
You also just disadvantage.
Yeah.
We're here now.
I have stabbed.
All right. That is a clean, easy, quick stab to this creature. His blood
We
sort of
both look
pulls
surprised.
out in this very viscous black ichor, but He is hurt for the effort. Anything else for you?
I pick up my skirts so that I don't get any on them.
Yeah. Icor does not remove easily. Like, you need club soda, and I don't think they have that. Ren.
Does it exist? Tony, let me get an insight check going on here. Is this a fight to the death? Is everybody looking very it ends here?
Okay.
What's the room feel?
So here's what's going to happen. Those of you that are invested in this fight, set a DC, and it's going to be up to you to choose whether or not Austin makes that DC. Go ahead and roll inside Austin.
23.
Osborne, what does he know?
He knows that I am going to put an end to this necromancer at all costs. That I think this is the font of evil against civilization.
He is the textbook cop, right? Like, he is...
Hey, whoa. Wait, whoa.
He doesn't care if he has to plant drugs on the body to make it look
I didn't
legit,
slide that undead into her pocket.
right? At all costs.
I
Nova.
take the necklace out of my cloak and it says ACAB.
Nova, what does he get from you?
I mean, I'm not in this to the death. Like, I don't think there's many things I am. Like, so, do you need me to roll?
No.
Like, if there's a
You set the
solution, I will-
DC. Like, what does he glean with a 23?
Got it. Sorry, I misunderstood. So my DC was 10.
Very transparent.
Yeah.
All right. Gex, what does he learn with a 23?
I feel like I'm just having fun with my new powers here. There's things to kill. I'm just going to be taking a seat and just shooting stuff 60 feet away from me from now on.
He learns Gex is sitting on the throne.
He's a short king.
Arthanos, what does he glean from you?
Arthnos kind of torn because not exactly a fan of the whole undead thing, but I did turn away and not attack her any further once Roost showed up. That's primarily what I'm concerned with, that we keep her word with what is her name? Armane. I got there.
Rin. From Lucina. Is Lucina right? Remember that?
Lucina, it's all the same.
From Lucina. You do detect that she is about to put an end to this fight. But you don't sense malice, you sense more annoyance. And she doesn't look bloodthirsty.
Well, I guess I will use my turn to say, all right, everybody just calm down. We can talk this. And then Osborne stabs again. And I'm like, oh, fuck. So I don't know. I'll try and grapple Osborne.
All right. Make an athletics check. Osborne contested.
Ready to get sweaty, Blake? Ooh, I have another attack.
Make another athletics.
That's what I like to see.
All right. So with his Lucerne hammer in the way, you're unable to get a good grapple. But as you lock wrists with him and sweep the legs, you'll like that, you're able to get him firmly into your grasp.
Firmly
Okay.
grasping.
I would like to move with Osborne. I'll push him back towards the end of this hallway.
All right. I believe, 15 feet?
Yeah.
All right. Take him 15 feet to the dance and rodeo.
You just go to the left, 3 squares, Blake. Thank you. That's my turn. Oh, he slipped out.
He's so
He's
greasy. Where'd you get all this butter?
Can't catch the greased up deaf guy.
You will catch me. I'm a friends.
Can't catch me.
All right, Ren, you put him at a better distance away, trying to lock him down. Arthanos, what are you doing?
I don't know, killing myself. Tony, how do you feel about a familiar's ability to close a door?
If it's realistic for the Tressum to do, yes. For this,
I have seen a cat open a door.
Well, I think the important part is to decide whether or not the door opens interior or exterior, right? So I feel like a cat could just slam its body into the door and close the latch, right?
But I feel like with the wings, it could grab hold of the handle and sort of flap itself back through it. No?
I'm not really feeling that polydactyl thumb bullshit.
Well, it's not. You don't. What polydactyl thought? I was saying like both paws.
Yeah, I'm
Around
not really
either
feeling
side.
it.
All right. So can the cat close the door?
I will allow it to, headbutt the door at Mach 4 to shut the door. It's a push-pull situation. Anything more complex than that, I'm not okay with.
Sure. You tell me which side the cat ends on, but it's going to close this door.
This door here?
Yeah, this one.
Okay.
The one that gives her line of sight into this room.
Let's say that she closes it and ends up in your room.
Okay. Door is closed. Now it's very dark over there. I will... Fuck, I don't know. Alright, the cat's gonna breathe lightning at the undead closest to it. Where's the fucking button? There it is. 8-hole lightning.
Huh, it didn't fix the sheet. We're like this close to going to Foundry, I swear to God. Okay, let's minimize that, let it run in the background. It rolled a 6, it failed.
Okay, so 8 damage. And then I am going to Minor Illusion, since it's not vocal. Well, I guess I'm gonna walk over. I don't know. Is Roos looking at me? It doesn't matter. I'm gonna say in silent letters, stop the vacuum and get in the back.
All right, you do so.
Yeah, like when he is looking at me, of course.
Yeah.
So I will move if I need to.
Well, it's got a 30-foot range. You can just put it in front of him.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. I was thinking prestidigitation is 10 foot. That is it, I think. Yep, because that's an action. Yep.
All right.
I'm good.
On her turn, she is going to cast a spell at Osborne while he is wrestling with Ren.
I strongly disagree.
As you should. I need you... I think you're good at these. Can you make an intelligence saving throw?
Oh, Lord.
This is
He's the best of those. Oh, I hope this is the John. Is this the John, Tony?
This is a John.
Oh, God.
Fantastic.
I did this. I had to make so many retarded noises.
You don't have to do that, though.
Maybe
As we told
Listen,
you then, you
I
did
was
not have
committed.
to.
I was committed.
Oh boy.
This is exactly what happened to John's paladin, though. And then he ate a bunch of ointment. So
Every
hopefully,
30 days?
Yeah, the spell is...
Yeah.
Oof.
Jesus Christ.
Ren, let me rephrase this. Osborne.
Yep.
Your faculties fade and your anger with it. You are wrestling with Ren, and it's a very simple realization. This is your ally.
Yep.
And your desire to fight back.
I cease wrestling and sit down.
Yeah, you're still, controlling yourself. You're not letting him throw you around, but suddenly it's just...
Yeah, just sit down.
Yeah. And she does nothing else on her turn. Rustamani will return the air and move back towards the throne. And he just looks at you, Gex, expectantly.
I guess I'll take my time but I'll get ready.
All right. He will retake his throne. Currently, he can't fit into it because he's in his larger form, but
Just
he definitely
1 foot.
seems happy that you don't have it anymore. The Ghast over here has received no new command. It's going to continue to fight Nova. And it's going to give a release. It's not... Why did it not fix? Oh, it's not done yet, but it doesn't look like it's working. I don't know. It's 15 to hit. Does a 15 do it?
It does not.
Oh, it just finished. Hold on, let's see if I can... I can! Haha! It's still only a 15, tragically.
Yeah.
15 does...
I-
Go ahead.
He looks dirty, and I don't really want him to touch me, so I just keep like, no.
Yeah, plus he's got that stab wound that you gave him, and it's just leaking.
Yeah, no, it's dirty. It's awful. No, thank you.
Gex.
Well, my throne has been taken from me.
Usurped.
Yeah, that's the word I was thinking of, but I was like, soup? What?
My throne has been soup.
My soup has been usurped.
Oops. I think that's 30 feet, right?
Where are you
Go
looking?
back to this nerd.
Yeah.
In case I hit. That's is that 30?
It's 30?
I mean, I can go there. Now it's 30.
It's still 30.
Give him a
It's
good
of the
stab.
first creature. It's not of you, eh? Yummy.
I don't know what I'm thinking. Hit him with the... Don't hit him with the thing.
This is upsetting. That is insufficient. As you strike out at him, he is just nimble enough to avoid the hit.
I guess I'll just step back 5 feet.
Okay, it will try
damn
to
it.
strike you. Oh, you're mobile. Never mind. That is its turn. It's going to go after the mage again, the wizard.
Of course it is. Not have it any other way. I was worried that I would have to rescind what I just said. Yeah, no.
All right. Osborne, your desire to fight has lessened.
Yep, I'm still sitting down.
Okay. Nova.
I'm gonna go. So, are we talking? What's happening? Guys? And I'm gonna. I can't step back without giving him an opportunity of attack. But I'm gonna hold a sacred flame ready, and if he attacks again, I will attack him. But otherwise, I'm gonna hold my turn until I hear if we're trying to talk or slow things down.
All right. On the initiative of 1, Lucina will say to you, Ren, would you like to stop this?
Yes, please. Is he okay?
Drooling.
He has been made more agreeable. Arthanos, your turn comes first, but you will notice this creature starts to back away from you defensively. Would you like to try and kill it?
I mean, yeah, I guess. I haven't really heard anything else is happening, so...
Oh, sorry. Well, it's still Ren's turn, actually. Ren, what else
Oh.
would you like to do on your turn?
I will approach her. I'm going to leave Osborne on the ground here. And then I'll ask if she's okay. Look at the state. Did anybody hit her? I can't actually remember.
Yes, somebody did.
I remember
got
somebody
pretty
did
lightning
like
I think it was
an
Osborne.
ass
got it.
blast. Yeah.
You gave her a butt end.
Yeah. So I'll just ask her if she's okay. That'll be my turn.
All right. So Arthanos, as far as you know, this creature is starting to back away, but you can take a strike at it. 17 does kill it.
Okay. Yeah, because I mean, like, I haven't heard that they were going to stop attacking. Maybe it's just
Right.
trying to cower or some shit. Okay, then it's my turn. I guess good old cat's gonna be a dragon again.
Such a brave kitty cat.
Yeah, it's fucking great.
It suffers 6 lightning damage.
And then, nothing. Unless I make that a 19 with the magical balance bullshit, which I'm going to do.
Well, did you already sword?
That was the opportunity attack, wasn't it?
No.
Oh! Okay, then, yeah, no, in this case, I do not do the booming blade
Okay.
thing.
Yeah,
This
Ren's
creature-
gonna be real pissed if she comes
will.
back in the room and everyone's dead.
This creature is also going to start to disengage, but before that, it stands up rigid like it's not in a combat pose. And Lucina, keeping a wary eye on Osborne, is going to make her way to the door and open it. Which looks like that. And she's going to step in, readying a spell. And she says, I don't suppose anyone would be more interested in a civil discussion. And with her spell ready, she will end her turn. Your smite does nothing, gas does nothing.
Oh no, it's up to me.
Gex.
Oh, fuck.
Damn it. I'm having Strahd flashbacks here. I want to do either perception or insight on anyone in the room that is not an enemy, besides the cat. Can I do that?
What?
She wants to do what I did and just feel the vibe.
You want to just
Yeah,
feel
I
the
wanna-
vibe?
I want to feel the vibe.
I mean, if you put bigger batteries in it, probably hits a little harder. Make an insight check.
Not always. It's about the wattage.
With a 21, you get the feeling that the mage here is annoyed, and she's not necessarily bloodthirsty, but she's done with this engagement. Nova, I imagine you get the same thing that Ren got, which is that she's kind of... It's gross now. It's not fun anymore.
As soon as you started losing.
As soon as it started getting sticky, I got disinterested.
Yeah, that's like... Does art imitate reality?
Yeah.
Arthenos. What do they get from you?
Well, I mean, if this thing's relaxing and she wants to talk, then yeah, more sort of relax and not be as tense.
All right.
Weapon down a bit.
I think what you would see here at this point is that the combat music kind of comes to a slow crawl, Gex.
Okay. Oh. Where's the ruler? I'm gonna walk right here and just kind of stare at her, but I won't attack.
How many teeth are you showing? Like, are you just staring up at her, mouth agape, like...
11 teeth.
It's a lot of teeth. A lot of teeths.
Out of.
Apparently 12.
How are you hiding only one?
All right.
It's a big one, the best.
With everything temporarily winding down, she looks over at all of you and she says, take a seat at the table. You'll understand if I don't want to join you. Ren, you might need to wrangle your companion.
Oh, right.
Lead him in.
Hey, bud. How are you feeling?
He's chewing on the end of his hammer.
I think metal's bad for the teeth. I look around. There's like a splintered like painting frame from one of the lightning blasts. I give him like a scrap of that. Here, I think wood's better.
He starts chewing on that instead.
Now you can have splinters.
We're gonna go this way, all right? And I'll kind of like take his arm.
And presumably he will allow you to do so, recognizing you as a friend, and you can lead him back to the table.
No resistance, but also no proprioception, so like constantly running into the door frame, falling over.
You lost your 5G signal.
Yeah.
I can tell they're trying to walk.
That's exactly like he's toe walking and chewing on a piece of wood and running into things.
She'll look down at you, Gex, and indicate with her eyes towards the table.
I will slowly move. But I'm going to go like here-ish.
I'm gonna say, hey, you'll have to give me just a second. Then I'm gonna walk over here and try to get Roost back in the flask.
You're just like, get in, get in, get in, get in.
Yeah. Get the fuck in.
Everybody stops and stares. 8 minutes go by.
Yeah.
Our secret's not a secret.
Have you tried throwing a treat in the bottle and then see if he goes and tastes it?
I don't think he's food motivated.
Have you tried spraying with a water bottle when he doesn't listen? No. Bad gene.
It takes a moment or two, but you're able to wrestle him back into the flask. And presumably all of you will, if not take a seat at the table, at least put some distance between you and her.
Yes,
Rin, she doesn't
yeah.
seem to indicate that you need to move, but you're welcome to pick a side.
Oh God! Don't say it like that. I stand in the middle, directly in
On the
between
table.
both.
Pick a
See?
side, Ren.
She looks disappointed.
I stand here.
Where'd you stand? Okay, so that's like a third of the distance.
Yeah.
All right.
I lean against the ghoul. You know.
She takes a moment, and you see her kind of steady her nerve. She takes a breath. Some of the irritation fades out of her eyes, and she says, "So I assume that Rustamane is bound to you now, and that any accord he has with the Dragon Army is no longer valid."
I'll
Yep.
be right.
Disappointing. But such is the way of these things.
Wait, isn't that good though? The Dragon Army won't get the supplies, and we can all go back to the city together.
Ren,
Hmm.
why do you think your long lost friend just popped up here out of the blue?
Wizard business.
And I want you to think about context clues.
Listen,
that
I
was one
can't be
week.
asked to understand the ways of mages. It's just beyond my capabilities.
Okay.
Whatever
what-
she's doing here is obviously important, though.
I'm gonna look at her and just kind of long suffering that look that women share sometimes. Do you want to tell him?
Ren, I serve the Dragon Queen.
Sorry, what? I don't think I processed that.
She steps over to you, grabs your face with both hands, and turns you towards her.
Joke's on you, Tony. She only has one arm.
You're right. I forgot.
True.
So she pinches your jaw with a finger in the rest of her thumb in her fingers, and turns you
Nice
to face her.
recovery.
And she says, "Ren, I assume you have taken up arms with Calaman. Please
Yes.
know, history will speak of only one of us as being in the right, and it is not Calaman. I serve the Dragon Queen, and if you have the ability to..." She stops for a moment and she looks hesitant. She is not what you think. And she releases you.
Okay. So I look
Can I-
around. So Caliban's the bad guys?
She tilts herself a little bit and says, I wouldn't necessarily say that they're the bad guys. But they are in the way of a better guy. Is that making sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I, you know, excuse me.
Amazing.
There's like mumbling from the other side of the door, like Ren's talking to himself. And then you hear a whistle, and there's like a horse trot that you hear, like a clop, 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 clop. And then there's some neighing and more mumbling. I've consulted with Water Lily, and I would like to know more about the Dragon Queen.
She looks
Please.
relieved. She looks genuinely relieved. And she says, I'll say this for all of you. I assume that if you are with Ren, that you have a good nature to you. And you should know that those that are not of the draconian breeds also are of a good nature. She pauses for a moment, and you get the idea that she's kind of shifting through her thoughts, looking for a place to start. And then finally she settles and says, what do you know of Takhisis' history on this plane?
I shoved the largest intact platter of food onto the ground next to me.
Like a cat, just like full arm sweep.
Yeah, just arm sweep
Osborne, no, stop.
and pick up another piece of. Now I pick up a platter and start chewing on it.
Can I do an insight check or perception check while she's telling this story?
Yes, what are you looking to know?
I think whether she believes it.
Okay, remind me as you guys get towards a significant moment in the story or towards the end, and I'll tell you what you know.
Okay.
All right, so she says, a long time ago, there was a war between Takhisis and the people of Krynn. This war was not fought because she infringed on their lives or their freedoms, or because she wished them any ill will or pain or anything of that sort. The people of Krynn believed in gods that opposed her vision for this world, a vision where all would prosper. And so, they, serving these gods that opposed her, fought her tooth and nail and claw until finally she was pushed back. She was banished from this plane, and it took her a very long time to return. This was centuries before the Cataclysm. So I ask you, the Cataclysm, the greatest event in our history, the most apocalyptic ruiner of lives, an event responsible for so much death and famine and disease, chaos and destruction, something that set our civilization back hundreds of years. What force was so powerful that it could cause that?
Gods.
She nods at you. The gods grew enraged with the people of Krynn. Some of them took up arms and fought Takhisis, but many did not. Many saw her way of life as being advantageous. And they never forgave them for that. And as they grew further from gods, as our technology advanced and we were less dependent on them, they grew spiteful. And then they reaped us. They harvested us, cleansed the palate of most of us from this world, reset us. Some estimates say that more than half the population of all the sentient races was lost, purely because of their anger. And that happened because the one God that stood to oppose them was not here to protect us. Takhisis has returned. And for the first time in 3 centuries, the gods have conveniently returned as well, for no other purpose than to stand in her way. Because Takhisis will not leave them to sit idly by and wait for a proper moment to demolish and devastate our population again. There is much that Takhisis will risk to gain advantage of the world, a foothold in the mortal plane that the other gods cannot match her on. But know that she does it for our protection, to keep them from doing something much worse the next time they grow frustrated with us. And she indicates that she's come to an end of her tale.
Would I have potentially heard any of this before, like from a book or anything like that?
Make an intelligence... Make a history check.
I would also like to do that. I don't expect much, though.
You can also make a religion check if you're interested, either or. Arthenos with a 17. There's a lot of events that she's speaking pretty factually of. There was a war between the people of Krynn and Takhisis, and Takhisis was banished from this plane pretty much by the people and the gods of the old. And she was supposedly not around for a very long time. This is her grand return, and during that time that she wasn't here, the cataclysm happened. And some have often theorized that the cataclysm was the result of angry gods because it coincides with them leaving. It was like they threw a fireball at the world and then pissed off to let the world figure out how to stew in its own flames.
Yeah, they threw a little shit fit.
So all of that checks out.
Okay. But there's no indication that... Was there any indication that Takhisis was a good god?
The history would probably speak more at this point to the carnage of that war.
Okay.
There was a lot of fire. So no, the history doesn't represent her side well.
Okay.
It was her forces at that time were, of course, comprised of many races, but mostly it relied on the strength of dragons.
Okay. And are dragons known to be generally evil outside of the context of this war? Like, is that evil good? Are they neutral? Are they just beasts, more or less?
Dragons really haven't been interacted with much since the Cataclysm either. They haven't completely fucked off like the gods did, but accounts of them are unreliable. You do know that some dragons took up arms in defense of people on the side of gods, of the other gods and the people of Krynn in this war. So there were dragons on both sides, but most of them tended towards her side.
So they're not universally evil or something like that. It's like they're making their own decisions. All right.
Or there's more information that you don't have.
Yeah. All right.
If you are willing, I would like to hear more.
She nods and she says, I think we've calmed down enough. And she'll move over to take a seat at the far end of the table. Gex, you sense a lot of unrest from your passenger. A lot of unrest from your passenger. And you can almost hear a monologue in the back of your mind, but you can't hear the words. You just hear almost like it's thinking about something. And I'll take a moment here to think about that thing with Blake.
Hello.
Sup, my dude?
What up, buddy?
I am also here. Do you need me to leave or?
No, it's fine.
Okay. Yes, I know secrets.
So, a long time ago, there was this man named Akash.
I remember him. That was a great character.
Yeah. Akash gets into this fight in the past couple of days, and he immediately is uncomfortable, I assume. Because there's a story to his creation. And there's a lot of parallels in what he knows of his own history and the way that Rustamane looks and appears and the kind of snake oil salesman that he is. And Akash isn't happy when he starts to piece some things together.
Sure.
He's kind of made peace with that, I expect. You know,
there are bigger, far more important dragon-shaped fish to fry right now.
Right, and also he's dead.
Yeah.
As this fight ends and Osborne returns to the room, there's this weird vessel-like quality to Osborne.
Oh.
Sorry, not here.
He doesn't have the faculties
Sure.
to resist possession. And in the past, let's say month or so, several weeks at any rate, that you've been with Gex, Gex has been slowly becoming more attuned to your presence, and you've been able to express yourself more and more. But Osborne is just receptive. If
I'm listening.
Akash would like, he can...
He should level up to 4?
I would hold off on that. But you can possess Osborne, at least for now.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Is there anything Blake, being a Blake, would have missed that Akash did not? Pieces of the puzzle going together, I don't know.
Piece of the puzzle as far as like your dad?
Just the whole shenanigans, or is this just kind of like what you see is what Blake sees is what he gets?
Can you be
Akash has a much broader view right now, and also Blake, his memory is not that great, so.
Okay. I can't think of anything obvious. I'll say that Akash is reasonably suspicious that the man that pretended to be a god was actually just a sleazy genie.
Yeah, well, yeah, 100%.
Right.
Wait, I see what you... Yeah. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
I think that, like, I expect maybe that's going to be something that continues to appear as an issue. As far as this specific scenario... Akash hasn't felt that connection to what he believes to be the deity that he discovered diminish.
Okay. Well, and I guess that's what I'm getting at, is like that deity also claimed to be Sugar Daddy? No? Or was it just the deity?
He never claimed to be that.
Yeah. No,
he
you're right.
Claimed to be there for you.
Yep.
He said that you had a destiny for him or something of that like.
Tony, you make an excellent sleazebag genie.
I'm here to impress. Would you like to possess Osborne?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we all know the answer to that question.
All right. So you have a couple of ways that this can go. So we talked about a reincarnation mechanic down the road. This could be that. Or it can just be a placeholder. Because although I tremendously enjoy feeble-minding you, I also don't want you to not be able to play D&D.
Sure. Well, I mean,
It's a
there's a
tragic
part that's
balance.
like, well, I guess Tony's made his decision about how the game keeps going.
So it's really
Well,
you.
here's the hands.
If you want
What's
to make the effort to free Osborne in the long term and restore him to what he was and make him your character, or this could be Akash.
Yeah, this is a pretty cool.
That's a very cool and really, because I've actually gotten to really, the last session I wasn't super enamored with Osborne. I think I reacted off the cuff a little bit. But I have gotten to like Osborne a lot as a character, but I was really kind of in love with where Akash was going. So
So food for thought.
definitely food for thought.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I don't think there's going to be too much more combat this evening, unless somebody picks on the Archmage again. So give it a thought. Let me know when you get to it.
Yeah.
All right, back upstairs. Gex, you feel this sort of internal monologue going back and forth, like the spirit that resides with you is thinking, like really mulling something over. It's really weighing on it. And then suddenly you just feel that connection snap. And it feels diminished. It feels weakened. At the same moment you feel that connection snap, Osborne just suddenly stops chewing on a plate and looks restored.
I like to think that Nova would have like handed him like his tie or something to chew on, like or a bit of his cloak instead.
Yeah, it's just sopping wet with Osborne drool.
Well, that can't be good. I'm gonna definitely look around. This is a window, right?
Yes, to your right.
I'm gonna look out the window. No storm clouds, no ominous things on the horizon.
There's a bad moon rising, but you're probably okay.
Bad moon right.
Can we see them?
So wait. So you're saying the moon is visible?
God damn it.
I hate that you're back.
No.
I will kick him in the shin for inspiration.
Yeah.
No,
Deal. Make it
you
happen.
were joking.
Unfortunately, she already had it.
You
Also
better give
true.
it to me.
I'm gonna go over here.
So interesting enough, as you get closer to Osborne, that connection gets just a faint bit stronger.
I'm gonna sit in the chair and just look around. Is anyone else spooked? Is it just me?
If
I like to
anybody
think
else,
I'm asking questions about like what the Dragon Queen's way of life is. That was a thing she said. I want to
Yeah.
know what that's about.
go ahead, ask more specifically. Make it conversational.
Osborne is fumbling around for a moment.
What would you like to ask her, Ren?
Oh, I thought that was going to be the background thing, and that we were going to explore whatever's happening here more. But I'll just ask her about like what the Dragon Queen's about. You know, she mentioned the Dragon Queen's way of life. I want to know what that entails. I want to know why. And then I'll bring up that like the Dragon Queen's army did offer just to absorb the townsfolk. They didn't like outright say, we're gonna come pillage everybody. So I make that point, and it's like not good, right?
Right.
Bryn is obviously trying to rationalize something here.
You're like a German in 1946, right? You're doing your best.
I'm gonna say no. Say no to that.
It's okay because they weren't Aryan. That makes it all right.
Okay.
So Nazis is where we draw the line. Got it.
Where I
Literal
draw the
not for
line and
yourself.
where fantasy hobgoblin himbo nightman draws the line are very different.
Yeah.
So she will answer you, Ren, and say, most of the people that have joined her cause do so for the same reasons that people have joined Calaman's cause. The pay is good. The lifestyle is enjoyable to them. But they continue on as they are. No one has been converted to some sort of bizarre faith or arcane rituals. They're just same people they were before. I'll admit there is an element of conquest to it. This war requires that she take a stronger foothold on the plains.
Oh, what a load of shit. Oh, there it is. Holy shit.
Osborne?
Close. Sorry, I've been trying to figure out how to make this thing work for a minute. This guy's big. Who is this?
Osborne? Can I cast Detect Thoughts on him?
Is the voice similar to my passenger?
Yes, more the voice is still Osborne's, but the mannerisms are similar to your passenger.
Like,
If
is that
you'll
supposed to
allow it,
happen?
Tony, there will be a slight, like, almost blue glow to the eyes.
Yes, I have some plans there.
Okay.
Can I cast Detect
Thank you.
Thoughts on him?
Yes, and when you do, have you ever used Detect Thoughts on Akash? Like when you weren't supposed to be, like when you were practicing
Definitely
the
used
spell?
it, like, well, when I first learned the spell, and I was like, "There's no way this guy's for real." Like, clearly they would set me up with like a prince in disguise, right? This is nope. This so like, yeah, I used it to make sure he was who he was, and then was very disappointed that he was who he was.
So his mannerisms have changed to match Akash's, but the voice that you actually hear inside his head, inside the thought cage, so to speak, that's exactly how you remember Akash sounding.
Kosh?
The one and only.
What? No, you're dead.
It's not all it's cracked up to be. And you, and I'll level a finger, are full of it. Do you even believe this crap you're peddling?
In order for her to protect this world from the next tantrum the gods throw, she needs to establish a foothold here, and that means conquest.
Yeah. There was a story once about a guy that flooded the world for that same reason. Didn't turn out great for everybody else.
I suppose in this example, both sides flooded the world, but only one stuck around to help clean it up.
But your argument is literally that the ends justify the means.
Would you rather wait for...
I'll turn to Ren. You were there, Ren. There was no... It was do what we bid or else. There was no we'll absorb you. It was we'll take over. And if you flee, we'll murder you. And we watched it happen. You watched it happen. I died helping it. I died helping you, Ren.
This is a lot to process.
But you're better than this.
So you're not dead?
Yes, I'm curious how you broke free of my spell as well. She looks at you, Nova.
It wasn't her.
It might have been me.
It
don't
could
know.
definitely have been her.
Akasu kind of looked down and knew, they're like, wow, this guy's huge. Damn.
Could have been Arthanos too.
As soon as you get a chance, you can sneak away and do a crotch test and see whether or not you came out better or worse.
You just hear yes in the distance.
I feel like Akash would just check at the table. Like, manners were great.
He's just here, ding,
Yeah.
sweet.
Oh, humans are so itchy. And then he goes to scratch his thigh, but he's really giving a check.
No, he's still here, I think, somewhere. But you did give me an empty vessel, and I appreciate that.
No, you seem much more reasoned than him.
Ren, I'm disappointed in you. You're better than this. You were the best one. I told Nova to focus on you because you were the best of us. And you're going to listen to this?
Well, yeah. Lucena's the smartest person that I know.
It's not really fair to sort of guilt that relationship as a way of swaying him. Let him make his own decision.
Really?
See, that's what I mean. That's reasonable, right?
And she's not using your relationship at all.
I don't think so.
I imagine it would go more like, Rin, your friend from childhood, please trust me as you always have. I'm certain you can see how this goes. I'm not here to convert anyone. Obviously, my agenda is not going to be met. But Rin, this war's only going to get meaner and uglier. And atrocities will be met out by both sides. I'm not trying to say the ends justify the means, but only that you should choose which ends you want to help bring into fruition.
Wait, but you're saying both sides are going to commit, are going to be like this, but you guys were invading and trying to conquer peaceful towns. This wasn't a war that two sides are at. You were actively coming after these towns and these people that can't defend themselves.
The Dragon Army is already on every continent in the world, and they offer that you join and serve before they see that you are removed as a threat. You have to understand, if the gods go to war like they did, it'll be us that suffers. Once Takhisis has a foothold here, she can cut them off entirely. And her rule will be prosperous.
Does she believe this? That was my question in the beginning.
So Nova, with a 10, she sounds as convincing as she sounds.
Oh yeah.
What about
Akash, make
Yep.
an insight check using his sheet. You should still have access to it, I think.
I do.
Ooh. With a 27, she seems like she speaks so confidently of this, like she studied it, like she's researched it, like she's vetted her thoughts or vetted her notes. She's prepared a thesis on this and defended it. Yeah, she is confident. She's a true believer.
Okay. I think Akash will just sit there quietly for a minute and go, okay. Well, I get what you believe. But I have it on pretty good authority that you're wrong. And I'm not going to convince you, but I hope for your sake that you figure it out before it's too late.
I'll admit, seeing myself opposed by Ren, it definitely gives me some hesitation. And she looks very somberly at you, Ren.
Rin does not know where to look, so he just looks like in the corner of the room.
The wall
This
got
one
very
over
interesting.
here. Yeah. And I'll kind of just mumble, so the gods are the problem? Well, where are they at? Yeah.
Some of them are trying to come back to help
That's
to stand against Takhisis.
That seems to be the case.
I'll just kind of give a little like half wave, like, yep.
So if they're the issue, can't you just stop them from coming back somehow?
Some of them
Does there
coming
need to
back
be?
because of Takhisis.
The
Okay.
world.
Rin sits down.
My head hurts.
I just need a minute.
Ren goes back outside.
I didn't even think gods were real until like a month ago.
Right, I like the
Yeah, water.
interject-
This window opens over here, and Water Lily's head pokes through.
conversation with the corner. Right, I like to interject just for a moment. What you said about people being converted through some arcane ritual seemed oddly specific, or not being converted. It's just, are you sure?
Yes, I'm quite certain. I used it as an example to say that there's no transformation. These people are the same people they were before. So he asked about the lifestyle. It's a lifestyle that's going to match what you're going to have in Calaman or in Calaman's army.
Right, and where did those Draconians come from?
She hesitates for a moment.
Uh-oh. Good question.
And she says, the Draconians are a creature created in Tarkhesis' image. Part of her return meant that she needed servants, perfectly dedicated, and absolutely lethal on the battlefield. And so she created something that would do. There are several types modeled after several aspects of her nature. But I suppose to answer your question, they are of her will and of her body.
Okay, that's more so just answering why they are, not how they came to be.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like you're avoiding the question.
She seems a little confused. She is a god. She created them. You have to understand, there are limitations to what the gods can do when they do not all act in unison. They have created a barrier of sorts that prevents too much of their power from channeling down into this world at a time. It's to keep them from ripping us apart. When they all chose to neglect that barrier and push through, they gave us the cataclysm. But a god that has manifested on this plane has more influence and control. And as her influence controls, she will become more and more powerful. Powerful enough that they cannot throw her back. She is already here. And her power has created these Draconians.
Tony, do I know enough of magical theory to believe that something like a full sentient, although full-on slave person, I guess, would be like, could that be created from nothing?
Make an Arcana check.
Like, what is it? The rules of energy conservation, do they apply?
Yeah, kind of. But for magic?
Mm-hmm. Make an Arcana check.
Oh man, I'm distracted by it. Oh, inspiration. Just kidding.
Okay, would you like to 17? 16. All right.
Oh, like, yeah. Okay.
You would say two things. One, divine magic probably has different rules. So now that the gods are back and that type of magic is returning, what a god or god can't do, the limitations of that are completely not understood by you. However, with arcane magic, usually there is something that you start with that is more tangible. And kind of to lend some credence to that thought, you see a cat that has wings grace upon the table. Right? Not created out of nothing, from what Arthanos knows and probably would have shared with the others. They're thought to be an experimentation of magic. You know, creating creatures and altering them in different ways. So your understanding is that there's usually a base material. But you also don't know if that applies to gods.
Yeah, but I feel like Nova, you know, when she gets a thought in her head, she's pretty sure it's the right thought. You know, there's some confidence issues. So when she describes, like, no, this is definitely, like, you know, the will of the god, once she's done with that speech, I'm going to turn to Ren and go, I believe your friend believes what she's saying. But from all of my studies...
I'm full on talking to Water Lily.
Right.
So I just... Oh, yes.
I just want to point out something from a magical side that makes me a little uncomfortable about this for you to consider. From everything we know of magic, there isn't a way to just create something out of nothing. And I would suspect that these quote-unquote willing, perfect servants, can they be servants if they don't have a will of their own? I don't think they just came from nothing. And I don't know if the people they came from had a choice in turning into this either. And I don't know how I feel about a god that doesn't want its servants to have any kind of free will or an opinion.
Doesn't magic
I think
exclusively make stuff out of nothing?
Yes,
No.
you have a very...
There's no free lunch, but Akash is just Osborne Akash is just staring with his mouth agape.
Close your mouth. I got smarter when you left.
That was 6 complete sentences that didn't revolve around you.
I know after I had the idea to create water in the war machines to disrupt the furnace, doesn't that literally just make water out of nothing?
It pulls it out of the air.
Your understanding of magic is... well, it's very cute. But please do not attach the limitations of your understanding of magic to something that is far beyond you.
I didn't mean to imply that I knew any. You're not talking
you,
to
Ren.
me.
No. Ren, I have made the decision that your decision is your own. I do wish it was different.
Well, I haven't made a decision yet. I was just taking counsel, and Water Lily neighs.
So something I want to know, is Water Lily the horse that you grew up with and like have been training all your life, or is she something you got when you went to the Knights?
She I don't know how long horses live. This is a me thing. I don't know how long
About
horses
40
live.
years ish.
4 years
40.
that I have 40 absolutely that I've had. She's like 15.
Yeah. So she does also look happy. What? It's only 25 to 30 years? I thought it was 40. Yeah. Anyways,
Damn,
That's still a long time.
I live in the horse capital of the world. I should have known that. For some reason, I was so confident it was 40. Anyways. Oh, here we are. Domestic horses have lived into their 50s or 60s. All right, so whatever. She does look happy to see Water Lily. You'll have to choose how Water Lily feels about seeing her.
I don't know yet. Rin's going through a lot of shit, but he'll say,
Water Lily has boundaries.
well, Water Lily
Trust
does have
issues.
She's been burned before.
She remembers that time that she showed up without an apple, and she's never forgiven her.
It's one time. She had an orange instead.
How dare you?
That's how she lost the arm.
I want to know more, but I don't think that I can process the complicated things you're talking about. So I'd like to just go experience it, I think.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Just leaving.
Exactly.
Just climb the window. I need some time to think. I leave.
She will sort of stand there looking out after Ren as he leaves. And you can see that she's clearly not happy to put him in this position. But she turns back to you, sort of shows her resolve and says, like I said, I'm not here to convert you. It seems that my mission will have to be a failure. If nothing else, you can take that back to your superiors and be pleased with your results. But please understand, I will not tolerate an interaction like this again. And I will not tolerate if you put that man into danger.
Says the evil necromancer leading an army.
Seems more like the Dragon Queen's army's put him into danger lately.
Hey,
Ren can put himself into danger.
oh, he does that plenty.
I would ask that you let him choose for himself. I understand that she gestures towards where the Rustamane was. That consent might not be your favorite aspect to dish out, but
Oh, he deserved it.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
buddy.
monster. Sorry.
she sort of trails off and lets things sit unsaid. So, I'll be preparing to leave. I hope that we will part peacefully.
Sure, perhaps you should look into exactly how those draconians are created. I get the feeling you might like to know more. I know I certainly would. Something rather exact rather than your a sort of vague religious explanation.
Yeah, just with the whole draconians come from storks, kind of.
Right, it's just it sounds a bit inaccurate.
All I would tell you is that I'm here because the gods are returning. And I also have an unfairly good authority that the story you're being spun, or that was spun to you, is not, let's say, entirely accurate. I also, in my experience, there's 3 versions of truth. So I'd look somewhere in between.
You're welcome to figure out your own truth about this and anything else, but I would start with what led the gods to devastate the world? To set it all on fire and leave it to burn.
Are you so sure it was them?
She, having moved over to the table at this point, she simply stands up and says with absolute conviction, I am certain. I am certain, and so are so many scholars before me. And you can see that she has this dark iron scepter that I had mentioned before, and she clutches it. There is a wisdom beyond your years at my disposal.
Yeah. That's what I was afraid of.
Are there any markings or anything on it? Like, is there any indication of what it is beyond a scepter?
Am I not already holding it?
A valid question.
She, she reaches for the scepter, and of course, Gex is holding it for her. Very nice of him. It's
fine if it's plain. I was just wondering.
No, it's distinct, but nothing that stands out as a marking or like an identifying tool or anything like that.
Okay.
I might say that you know that working magic into metal is old, right? Like, not only did we lose the ability to create magic items, we lost the ability to create steel, and like working magic into metals is always more difficult than working them into more natural substances. It's just the nature of metallic properties.
Okay. So it's old.
It's probably very old.
All right.
Can I stand up, fall over once because Osborne's big, stand back up, say, I'd ask you one thing. I don't know if you'll believe me or not. He'll sort of gesture vaguely to himself, let's say predecessor, was quicker to anger than I tend to be. But I am here on a higher authority. I have no quarrel with you directly. I'd like to try one thing, just to see, and maybe it'll answer questions for both of us. I won't harm you.
And exactly what are you proposing?
I'd like to cast a spell. Let's call it an experiment.
I am certain that you can understand that I'll need more information to work with before I can make an educated decision. I don't trust you just because you've asked me to.
No, and that's entirely reasonable. Oof, man. So, I don't study magic. In fact, I didn't really ask for it. It was sort of thrust is probably the best word upon me. But I want to make sure that your thoughts are your own, as much as they may seem like they're your own. And I can give you the opportunity to break free of them if they're not. If they are, then nothing happens. The spell fizzles. And we both go our separate ways for the day. I think that I'm outclassed here, drastically. But I think I have access to some areas that you may not.
You said yourself you're here for the gods, to be their tool.
Mm-hmm.
Please, tool, work.
What's that?
She says, please, tool, work.
I would like to cast Remove Curse.
She will holster the scepter into a loop on her belt.
Mm-hmm.
And she will hold out her hand for you to take.
Mm-hmm.
You cast Remove Curse.
Mm-hmm. Do you need the spell text?
There appears to be no obvious change in her person.
Okay. You can understand why that would have been a lot easier for all of us, and mostly for poor Ren. And I will step back.
I feel like I need to come up. I didn't actually leave. I just wanted to hear what you would say while I was gone. I just am right out the window. I just move back into the window frame.
You learned that from Espen, didn't you?
Yep.
But I will look at her. I will step back, and Akasha looks sad, right? Because that means that she's a believer. Not she was forced into this. Not her will was taken. Not, you know what I mean? And he'll sort of do the arm sweep towards the door, like he's not standing in her way. You can understand why I would have hoped that would be easier for Ren.
No, trust me. To each of you, I hope that we never see each other again. Ren, I hope to see you again. But I fear it will be in unfortunate circumstances if we do.
I think that might be more difficult than you think.
Oh shit! What was her name again?
Because I'm going to go with you.
What was her name again, Ren? Austin?
Lucetta.
Lucerne. I kept wanting to call her Lucerne. I was like, nope, that's a hammer.
As soon as he's,
Lucerne.
I want to. Lucenna, I have one last question for you.
She gives out this sort of restrained smile towards Ren, and her composure falters for a moment as she turns back towards you, Nova.
How many letters did you write Ren after you left town?
On second thought, I have to go again.
She waits for you to leave, and then she waits a little longer, and then she says, I sent him 3 letters. 1 for my acceptance, 1 for my graduation, and 1 as a warning.
Can I do an insight check to see if she's telling the truth?
Sure. She seems honest.
Huh.
In fact, you and Akash both, you definitely feel there's something she's holding back on,
Uh-huh.
but you also don't feel that she's being manipulative or outright lying to you. Like you've definitely sensed that she has conviction in what she says.
Sure. Dang, I was really hoping that she would like admit to not writing any letters, and then Ren would not want to go with her because it would be one-sided.
She will say, "My stay might be a few minutes longer. I'll need to speak with Ren, but I again hope that our peace will keep." And on her way out, she casts Banish on Rustamani. No, I'm kidding.
He's not here anymore. Fuck off.
Yeah,
He casts Banish on you.
She will
That would be cool.
make her way outside, and she will try to find Ren. She'll start at 5 feet down from the window.
I did actually leave this time because I already knew the answer to this. My answer was just one digit off. I don't think I ever got the letter about the warning.
It would not have made sense for it to have reached you.
Yeah, but I definitely got the other two.
That's up for you to decide. Whether or not whether you got those is very much on your end. But
Yeah.
if you're not too hard to find, she will try to find you.
Yeah.
And when she does, she approaches perhaps a little more timidly than you're used to her being. And she says, "So that was a thing."
Yep. One second. I just like take the bridle off Water Lily, and she just goes fucking crazy. She starts like kicking around and shit. She looks very happy.
She returns it. There's some genuine enthusiasm, and she has a lot of mirth to her voice that she has not had in this interaction with the others. And she'll pet Water Lily and say how much she missed her. And, there's a couple moments there where you just get to enjoy seeing an old friend. And then, finally, as she settles down, she'll take a brush, if you'll give her one, and she'll work on Water Lily on one side, try to convince you to work on the other side with her. And
Yeah, we can work on the horse together.
And she says, "Did you really mean what you said? You plan to go with me?"
Yes, and I hope we can do it soon so I don't change my mind or am accosted by people.
If your mind is so easily swayed, I would say to say.
It's gotten harder recently. There's just been a lot, I kidnap draconians. I ambush people in lakes now. I wanted to be a knight and do knightly things, but really I feel like a mercenary. And I've been thinking about that a lot recently.
Ren, I would love to have you join me. And I believe my position is high enough I could find you work that would be meaningful to you. But you also have to understand that work would be in our army.
Killing people, but I'm already doing that.
Maybe killing people. Maybe a more internal role where you don't have to find yourself on the battlefield. I could pull some strings. And if I did, I'd like to keep you close, to be frank. I think you would enjoy that. You've always had a weakness.
I don't like the way that you say that, but you're not wrong. And I've heard the roads are dangerous around here.
Let's be honest. You are the type that deserves a firm hand. Much like Water Lily.
Do I have to admit it, though? Can we just not say it out loud?
I think it's important to recognize the weakness within yourself. Because it's one that I likely would exploit.
Like, we all know that Ren's a sub, but come on, man.
He's
He's trying his best.
It's not. Ren is a lot like me as a person. It's not that we're submissive, right? It's just that dominant women know what they want, and I'm autistic. So like, it's exactly what you need. You just need conviction. Anyways,
It's harder to say no.
right? Like it's
Yeah.
it's sexy as hell. I'll be honest. Anyways,
It is.
she says.
So
go ahead.
I gotta ask, the arm.
Oh, this is a story we will tell when you finish making up what happened. What happened?
I don't know. I just during the test of high sorcery that she took, she lost an arm. That's all
Oh,
I know. I
thank
don't know
you.
what the test is.
I appreciate you filling that in. I think you told me that and I forgot.
Yeah, it's
She
whatever.
will explain as much, but she says that details beyond that should probably wait. For
Well,
the
let's go with eaten by a dragon.
yeah. It was eaten by a dragon. I went to the Dragon Queen to get it back. Found a new mom. No.
You know what? That would be funny, actually.
Yeah, she went to pick
Hey,
a fight.
listen, I have a complaint. One of your dragons ate my arm, and I'm here to get that shit back. She was like, oh, okay. You want a job?
Yeah. Well, to get it back, you need the proper health insurance. But hey, if you start working for me,
Benefits kick in 6 months.
yeah, oof, rough. She'll explain, in very vague terms that it happened during the test of high sorcery, and say that further stories like that will have to wait for the road. But she really presses on it that she does not want this to be something. She would love to have you by her side in whatever form that takes. She's doesn't know how this war is going to go, but she doesn't think she's on the losing side. You might be seeing your companions again soon, and you need to decide how you feel about that.
I am not going to fight anyone that I personally know. That's just not something that I'm willing to do. And I think I've changed enough as a person to maintain that conviction, as well as the conviction that this is my decision and I've made it.
I am certainly pleased that you did. I'd say we can get ready to go. You can take a moment to say your goodbyes.
Oh, can you do me a favor? I left a carpet on that drawing line over there. Can you grab that for me? Thanks. I scoot away.
Typical Ren, leaving the woman with one arm to finish his chores. She says it very
This happened
teasingly.
before.
Yeah. But she'll go and retrieve it for you.
It's the animated rug.
Yeah. I mean, it's friendly
I
to
imagine
you.
it just likes to hug at this point.
Was this all a long game to get her smothered by the rug?
All right, that's kind of what I'm getting to. Like, is she, are you going to come back to her just, Ren, I'm certain you know that this means war.
Ren, did you just play all of us?
I like to... Man, that would be great, wouldn't it? No, but I like to
Say
imagine
yes,
that
Ren.
Water
You
Lily
Bugs Bunny
and the rug have
Daffy Duck.
bonded at this point. Because they were together that whole time. Well, it doesn't matter. Go back in the building. And I will say to everyone very quickly and like almost shrill, I'm going to leave. I am hoping that I get to experience something for myself and then make my own decision later. Nobody's saying anything.
No, we're all just shocked. Like mouth open, like ugh.
Good for you, buddy.
I
hope it's not too late when you make the decision.
go up and I hug Osborne. I was really sad when you died.
Yeah, man, me too.
Don't say.
let Osborne have his body back eventually?
It's more than I got. I knew that would get you on me.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of time. I scoot past him. Nova, you are an incredible mage. Thank you for all that you've done and for saving my life several times. I'm gonna miss you, and then I hug her.
I'm actually gonna hug him back like a little more tightly than either of us expected, and I'm just gonna say quietly, like, "Stay safe and don't just don't do anything that gets yourself killed. I don't know. Ew, gross. Just go do your like," and then I push him away like you would like a little brother. Like it.
I'm just glad you remembered my name. Dex, where is he at? I just look around.
I poke your hip.
Jesus. Best wishes. Then I move on. Arthanos, I don't know you that well, but if I did, I think we would get along better. Next time we meet, let's not be so awkward. And then I wait to see if he wants to have like a hug.
I mean, I'll stick out my hand as like, I never thought it was that awkward, really.
I did.
But well, all right. If you've made your decision, goodbye, I suppose. I think it's making a mistake, but I'll respect your decision.
Don't worry, I promise not to spear you through the heart. I put my hand on your shoulder, and I turn around.
Don't worry about that. You don't have a spear.
Hey, Red.
It's a lance. Yeah.
Is this all about riding dragons?
I don't want to answer that question, and I quickly leave the room.
Well, he's got his priorities.
I didn't think he was the type to just abandon everything for hot chicks and cool cars.
I did.
I want to look at Osborne, or Akash Osborne.
Yeah.
And be like, how the hell did you get out of my head?
He
Well,
was in your head?
yeah. Man, you really gotta. There's this thing called therapy. We should probably talk about it.
Yeah, I feel we've a lot to address here.
No, I meant inside his head.
Oh,
It's a mess.
maybe that's not terribly surprising. If you think about it.
It shouldn't be.
Gonna look at the foot locker. I'm sure you're still carrying with you,
I'm still carrying with me.
strapped to your pack or whatever it is.
You know, it's not. It's actually that one's not as deep as you'd think. Like I first thought it was a fear of abandonment or something. It's just he just likes the box. That's it.
All right, I suppose it's
But
difficult to understand. Also, you can cast magic, and it's not arcane.
yeah, I mean that's kind of always been the shtick. Excuse me. Akash's voice is painful sometimes.
So that nonsense about the gods coming back and whatnot—that's not nonsense then.
Akash Osborne will just kind of do jazz hands and look a little sugary.
Right. Well, I didn't
Yeah.
expect that.
I mean, I was stitching wounds back together.
No, that's right. But I thought perhaps it was
What a lost art.
something along those lines. I've heard of some spell that can do something to that degree, though I've never seen it myself. It's, well, aside from what I thought was seeing it.
I mean, it was a lost art in so much as divine magic went away, but here we are.
I mean, I suppose it's good you're on our side then.
I mean, I feel like I'm here to oppose that. I'm not sure if I get much of a choice in the matter, but
No, but I mean, I'm gonna. Yeah, I just don't know. I gotta process this.
yeah, man, it's a lot. I'm inhabiting some guy's body.
Right, how'd that happen?
How do you move in all this armor? It seems impractical.
Right, I mean, well, as you can see, I'm not exactly the one to ask about it.
Sure.
What happened to Osborne?
Well, I don't know, because I don't. And he fucking jazz hands again. That's more your specialty, but suddenly Osborne just wasn't really there anymore. But his body was, and it was alive. It was just empty. Devoid of anything. The perfect vessel. And I was here, and I was getting kind of mad, so...
You've been following us around the entire time?
What?
Oh, you were in
Follow-
his head, weren't you?
Yeah, hitchhiking is a better term.
Yeah, I get those sometimes. I hear bug noises. I go, oh, great, another one.
Speaking of empty vessel. Got him.
Damn it. God damn it.
I'll be honest with you, Arthanos, I'm not really sure how I'm still here.
Well, I wonder what's gonna happen if Osborne recovers. Will you just be gone?
I suspect.
Do
other
I
question-
know? Sorry, what? Go ahead.
The other question is, what if he doesn't? Do I keep taking over this guy's body?
Well, Tony, do I know that it was Feeble Mind cast on?
Make an Arcana check,
'Cause I didn't
DC
see-
18. Make an Arcana check, DC 18.
DC 18. Well,
Nope.
that's a nope.
You know what? As my final gift to you all, please have my inspiration for this role.
Yeah.
Okay.
Final gift. Like, are you quitting the game, Austin?
No,
Oh.
I assume.
What-
I assume the inspiration is a transfer character sheets.
New character?
Yeah. That's the way it's looking.
I kind of think of it as being account bound, but you know, this is in character for you either way.
Yeah, it kind of is. All right. Well, what's a 26, Tony?
This is Feeble Mind.
Okay.
You know that in 30 days.
Just making sure. Well, I didn't. You said DC. I don't know. Maybe I learned something else about it.
in
Oh, I
30
love how
days,
simple that was.
you are going to, you know that he has the ability to overcome the spell, and that if he fails, he will continue to be affected like this. What that means in the long term, you don't know.
That means in the long term, I don't know. Okay. He certainly could. Yeah, I don't know. I suppose we'll see. I don't know of a way to get rid of it. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. Personally,
Hey,
but
man. I'm not an it.
You know that powerful restorative.
no. I mean the effect of the spell. I'm not calling you an it.
Yeah, but what happens when the spell ends? Do I just...
Right, that I don't know. Have I ever heard of anything like this, Tony? Reading all my fucking autistic books.
You do not. You know that powerful restorative magic could end the effects of the spell.
But where does that? Oh wait.
Yeah, almost like if a cleric had restoration.
Yeah. I guess I know that Wish could do it too. Because it's Wish.
You understand that this is extremely powerful magic, but extremely powerful magic usually has a weakness via other powerful magic.
I suppose you're the only source of any magic that can undo this. Though I'm not
great.
sure just how powerful it would need to be.
Also,
I suppose
we should probably have a conversation about that dick in the bottle you have.
Alright. What's that?
I don't know if I'm quite there yet, but I ever tell you about how I was raised? Mom, that whole thing.
No, don't know a thing about you, really. You kind of...
Let me ask you a different question then. Let's say, hypothetically, my mom was visited by a beautiful man who claimed to be a god from the moon, right?
Uh-huh.
And sometime later I was born. Now,
Okay.
you notice any similarities between me and the dick in the bottle you have there?
Did they look significantly similar? Because Akash always had that hood on, didn't he?
So he did, but if you'll recall, one of the first things I said when he transformed for a moment, he resembled Akash very strongly.
Right. So do you saying you're related to him?
I'm saying that I think him or someone of his ilk may have been like, oh, hey, look, I'm a god. Take your pants off. Yeah, man.
Alright, do you want to see?
Not particularly.
Okay. Just gonna let him out if you wanted to talk to him, but...
Let's just say I'm not healthy enough for that yet. There's a lot to process already being back here.
Okay, it's just, were you with us the entire time when we went down into the mines? Because the Dao down there would really like to, get her hands on him.
Yeah. She can have him.
Okay, alright, let's...
What, did you think I was going to have some sort of familiar attachment to him?
No, I thought maybe some questions or something along those lines.
Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know you.
I think I have all the answers I need. No, but I know you. It wasn't only, I was with you, let's say, the whole time, Arthanos.
What are you getting at? Whole time.
You know what I mean.
Maybe Arthanos does, but I don't.
Just making it awkward, man.
Is that it?
I know what you did.
Nova's looking at Arthanos like, what did you do?
I know what you do when everyone else is asleep.
What?
Oh, that! Right, alright. Well, I'm not... I don't feel a need to defend that.
I get it, man. Just passing the time.
Nova's looking more and more wide-eyed between the two of them. I don't... Can we just...
Yeah,
I think I'm done being at this place. Can we just give the genie lady her genie and call this one good?
Can we just
I'm just
sell
sad.
our slave real quick and leave?
Yeah.
Now I'm sad. Ren's gone and I don't get to ride the water lily anymore. And
That's what you're really upset about.
My feet hurt.
these shoes are not made for walking very far, and I was definitely counting on a return trip with water lily.
Wait, did we lose all of the horses except Water Lily?
There's a
Yeah,
mastiff still.
Yeah, the Mastiff still.
That's right, all of
Gex,
the horses.
responsible pet owner.
To get a wagon and hitch it to the fucking dog. That'll work totally. Alright, well let's go down and get that done with then.
Should any of us stay up here just in case? I don't know.
You don't want to walk then, I get it.
I'm gonna eye the throne.
You're hiding the whole throne?
No, I'm eyeing the throne. When
Oh,
you said, "Is
eyeing
anyone
it.
staying up here?"
You're...
Alright, well I'll go. You can come if you want, I suppose. Or not. As it seems, and then I'll look at Gex and Nova.
I'm already on the throne.
Yep. Knew it. I'll start heading down to the Dow then.
I vote that Arthanos and Osborne / Akash goes down to the mines, and the two of us stay up here just in case anything goes on. Just divide and conquer. and say Nova's feet.
You can do so. So, real quick, who's going down again?
I'll go down since I got the bottle.
And
Go down to the mines?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go down.
give you a chance to practice with that new body.
Yeah.
All right.
Take the armor off, though.
Who's staying behind then? Is that just Gex and Nova?
Yes.
Yep.
Since there's now only the three of us.
Are the servants still here? Or did they leave?
They left. So, and hearing sounds of battle, they probably won't be seen again until you request them. But you,
Oh yeah,
you
didn't
three
think of that.
can make your way down to the below.
Now, do you mean
Mhm.
3 or like 2 plus? Yeah. All right.
So, good point. I forgot that Austin quit playing. No, the two of you make your way down, and as you get down there, you hear the familiar sounds of the forge, and obviously, giant piece of metal being worked by a giant piece of metal being wielded by a giant woman. You expect it to be loud, but there's an intensity to it. And when you turn the corner of the cave system and see her, she is hitting this more ferociously than you feel is necessary. She catches you in her peripheral vision and she turns to you, gripping that maul.
Uh-oh.
And she just waits for you to finish your approach.
Definitely gonna have the pull the bottle out, and, or the flask, and just say, sorry about the delay. There was a bit of well,
Full.
there was a guest.
She sees the flask and she looks relieved. A little tentatively, because if this was an empty flask, it could be bad for her.
Oh yeah.
But she makes a quick effort to take it from you. She doesn't snatch it out of your hands, but she is not gentle as she just clutches it and pulls it close to her like she's inspecting it, and she says, "You tell me the truth now. Rustamane is in here."
Unless something's happened since I put him in there, yes. But as far as I know.
She turns towards an empty space in this cavern, and she speaks the command word, conjuring him in front of her. Rustamane looks conflicted. There's a part of him that's trying to be calm and placid, accepting, friendly, like the magic forces him to be. But also there's just this fake nature to it, and this worriment in his eyes. And he very shakily greets her before she shunts him back into the flask. And she gives you this incredibly satisfied smile.
I think we helped the villain.
She turns and says, "Whatever contract you have with him will be honored. The mines will work. And I believe I have promised you something." She looks over your corner. "Where is the one that was so fond of learning my craft?"
He had some pressing business. Perhaps he'll be back in the future if we could leave that offer open to him.
"For as long as I inhabit these mines, you are free to send." And she thinks about it for a moment. "I will take one of your tradesmen and any one of you, and I will teach you what I know.
All right. Well, that's very grateful of you. I'm sorry for the inconvenience of him having to go. That's personal matters. I'm sure you understand.
She gives a dismissive motion with her hand, and she says, "It is up for you to decide how to proceed now. I will make sure your minds are mined." And she clutches the flask sort of close to her chest, and she's not affectionately rubbing it, but just she looks so satisfied as she lets her fingers run across it.
Possessively.
Greedily.
Yeah. Very much
My precious.
my precious is it.
It's a weird kink thing, then. All right.
So she
Got a day for it.
She makes no further discussion with you if you don't.
Yeah. No, just all right. Nice doing business with you then. And then fuck off. I don't tell her to fuck off. I fuck off.
Yep.
On your way out, she says, "Oh, there is also this." And she will pull out what looks like pommels. And there are 2 of them.
Okay.
And she says, "These adhere to weapons. They are of a mercurial nature and will adapt to fit most varieties. You can expect them to work as an enhancement." And she hands the 2 of them over to you.
All right. Thank you. That's again very very generous. Then I get turned to go.
She makes no move to stop you.
Yeah. What kind of enhancement?
When you take time, you'll find out that these are of mercurial nature, so they'll fit onto the weapon in a way that makes sense. But usually it's a pommel for a shafted weapon, or if it's a weapon that doesn't have a pommel, then it might be like a brace or a handle upon it. It effectively turns it into a magic weapon, and it allows you to substitute any modifier you would like for any other modifier.
Ooh, snap.
Oh.
That's
So-
pretty righteous.
Intelligence sword.
Yeah, intelligence sword,
Yeah.
charisma sword, wisdom sword, dex sword, or I guess dex maul.
Constitution
Sword.
sword?
What's up? Constitution sword, yeah.
Ooh.
That's pretty righteous.
It does not work on items that are already magical.
Sure.
Yeah. That's fair. Okay.
Write those down because I don't have character sheets for them, so I will 100% not remember them ever again.
Making a note for later.
Yeah, I wrote it down.
Okay. On our way
Do I
out.
remember that I wrote it down? The answer is no, but we'll see. All right.
Part way out, I think Akash will, whatever happened to that shield of Ispin's? Did we ever figure out what that was? I wasn't around for all of it.
Rin, where's the shield?
Yeah,
There's a
no, that was
glint in the lowering sunlight as Water Lily crests the hill away from the mining camp, and the reflection is green.
Oh, Christ. Oh, we left that with Ryan. We never did figure out exactly what it was.
Somehow I think Ispin wouldn't want it with them, but here we are now.
Well, it's still with Ren. Hopefully he'll change his mind, maybe? Oh, that was foolish of us. Because I tried to discern its properties with magic, but it wasn't strong enough. My magic wasn't strong enough, so I'm not Not entirely sure what we've just left with them.
That's all right, man. Knowing Espen, it was like a shield of extra flatulence or something.
Let's hope. Yeah, let's hope that's the truth.
Austin, please make sure you annotate that you have one MacGuffin in your inventory.
Yeah, I thought for sure as soon as the army loosed 1,000 arrows into the sky, it would be a shield of missile attraction. I really thought that's what was going to happen, and I was going to get peppercorned.
Tony changes notes.
Well,
Just wait till the catapult launches.
Oh God, yeah, that
much
works.
more cows and shit.
Like, are dragons when they fly through the air technically missiles?
Let's say yes,
I say yes.
Arguably. Yeah.
The answer may surprise you.
but probably not.
So you guys can make your way back to the surface, where Nova and Gex probably looking for the niceties and fineries that are left over in this home. I expect.
Looking for grapes so that I can go on the throne and feed myself.
We're not looting, but
liberating.
You're looting.
It'd be a crime of fashion to let some of these, silk and velvet cloaks just, waste away in a closet.
Oh yeah, and you'll probably find in finished products well over 100 gold worth of fine clothing. It might be hard to sell it, but it also might be easy to resize and sell for a lower price. It's up to you whether or not you want to try to cart that along with you.
I mean, I'll just take one nice cloak to wear and maybe some of those shiny scarves.
Sure would be easier to cart that with a horse.
Thanks.
You guys remember that shield? I remember that shield.
There's probably enough horse parts on the road where you fought those Ankegs to assemble one. Shame you don't have a
If only you had a
necromancer.
necromancer.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find my notes. Where the fuck did I put the notes for?
Good job, Tony.
Where did I put the notes for the runes? Sorry.
My runes?
Yep.
I've got them.
Yeah, I just can't. I can't find my notes. I have no fucking idea what you can do right now.
All of the things.
Uh-huh. There's a weapon and armor, right, Tony?
Also an amulet.
No.
Yep.
I don't remember what they did. I'm sorry. I can't find my notes.
Well, we'll see what we can figure out.
I think I have them.
Okay.
I remember I pitched Cloak of Billowing.
Oh yeah, that one's definitely. But you guys can meet up and decide what you want to do now.
Well, what do you guys want to do now?
I mean,
Jesus Christ.
we were attacked by things from the ground, and then we went into the ground, and we were attacked by more things, and then we came above ground, and we lost Ren. I would like to go back to wherever we're calling home and rest for a little while.
Like, have a good cry.
So how do we go about getting Osborne back?
Only the gods know. Ooh.
So, I suppose you just tuned me out when I was talking to him about it earlier.
Have you met
All right,
Nova?
then.
I'm sorry, who are you?
It was more hypothetical.
All right, then, sure. It's undefeated. Just leave it be.
Are there horses we can take?
There are not. You can hoof it, but you're going to have to do it without hooves.
Boo.
We start walking back.
Oh my god, it's gonna take forever.
Like a day.
My feet already hurt.
Gonna hear that the whole way back, I bet.
Yep.
It is going to take pretty much the day.
Just saying, it would have been
Like
nice
past
if Ren.
silence.
Just saying, it would have been nice if Ren could have told us that there was a potential he would have left, because maybe I would have brought a different pair of shoes.
The road is peaceful on the way back. You do encounter a couple more smaller bands of people that look like they are making their way to find work. They look like they're not heading back towards Calaman, but instead towards the outskirts of this region where you suspect the Dragon Queen's army is. Some of them look like they're probably looking for mercenary work. Others just look like they've been displaced. You see, families moving along. But your travel is unhindered, and well into the evening, you'll find your way back into the city of Calaman. When you return to the castle, I assume everyone's going there.
I am, yeah.
What are you guys doing?
As we get close, Akash might bring up like, hey, so this guy, isn't he part of the military or something? I don't know. I wasn't paying that much attention.
Member of the guard, memory serves correctly.
So, you ever heard the story Weekend at Bernie's?
No, it's a new one for me.
The question is, do I just tell him what happened and see if they try to boot me out, or pretend to be him? Interesting quandary, isn't it?
I don't know. I suppose it's mostly your choice, though. It's you get booted out, it's going to affect Osborne negatively. Should he come back, still not clear on what's going to happen there.
Yeah. Boy, it's a lot to think about, man. Like, on the one hand, I'm pretty stoked to be back, but on the other hand, and he'll just kind of gesture at the body that's not his.
I know exactly how you feel.
Dude.
For reference, this was my character's entire goal, was to get his body back in a previous
It happened every time.
I joined, my previous character died, so this new character came in, had a TPK that session, and then instead of me making a new character, Tony just ripped the soul out and it went in another guy. And the whole thing became, I need to get my body back.
Who was that guy that left?
Robert?
Ren.
No. in that campaign, when you died and your soul ripped out, I remember there was like a chasm where everybody was jumping. The person jumped before me, fell, and took a crap ton of damage. And then I just cast a jump on myself and made the jump easily. And then they never came back.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
Definitely wasn't Robert. He got kicked in the volcano.
Yeah, he did.
I never came back.
Deservedly.
He also took
Man,
a break. Yeah.
that was funny.
Yeah.
So
He didn't get kicked into a volcano. He kicked another man into a volcano and then got beat to death by 30
Oh,
peasants.
yeah, you're right. Didn't they throw him
And
in- I
then
thought
kicked into the volcano.
Yeah, okay. He was expecting us to back him up.
And everyone was like, "Nah, that's on you, bud."
So, you are back at the castle. What are we doing?
So the conversation was, does Akash tell the military what has happened to this body he is now in?
Oh.
Or Weekend at Bernie's it. And hope for the best.
One of those is
what
more
we're
fun.
leaning towards.
I mean, Weekend at Bernie's is definitely more fun. Yeah, that's the one we're doing.
Yeah, I'd vote for Weekend.
I would like a montage of Akash desperately trying to pretend he knows what Osborne was about.
Yes.
Osborne was kind of a dummy. He was real good at this procedure bullshit.
Soldier, your requisition form for Article 4. You're like, yeah, man.
Wait, no, I know this one. Hang on. Pat's pockets. Here it is. All crumpled up. Wrong requisition form. So,
Where are you guys going?
Sometimes
Fourth time he's asked.
Tony, I will intend to go back to... Who the fuck sent us to go deal with the mine?
So Darrett gave your orders, but usually when you finish a mission, you either report to Marshal Vendry or report to her clerk.
Okay, well, I'll
Oh.
see if I can find Marshal Vendry or clerk failing that.
Marshal Vendry appears to be pretty busy. It's difficult to get a hold of her. Go ahead.
I was going to say, Akash will sort of split off and go for a bit of a walkabout and honestly try to figure out if, man, the god's been dead for a long time. He'll kind of hit the streets, man, like this is where he's from, and try to figure out if there is any sort of, like, worship left, if there is, I mean, temple's going to be a strong word, but shrines.
So, interesting enough, you know that there's very little of it around the castle that's remained active or in good condition.
Sure.
Your quarters that you were given is one of the best areas to find statues of the old gods. But as you're kind of walking around, you find this storage area, and it looks like it's holding dry goods for provisioning the castle with in the event of an emergency. It largely has a lot of traffic shuffling in new things, so it looks like it's been cleaned up and repurposed. And all of these gatherings are around a statue that you recognize as being a symbol for the deity that contacted you.
The deity that I definitely remember without looking at my notes.
There's a reason I described it as such, because I also have not looked at your notes.
Yep.
Akash returning was a surprise to both of you.
Yep. Surprise. Was it Lunatari? No. Zivelin. Right? Nope, that wasn't it either.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, no.
His god.
Zivelin. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Tony.
I
It
believe
was
you.
Zivelin. Yep. Okay. So there's a large gathering around it?
Not a gathering around it, a gathering of materials, dry goods, provisions,
Okay.
things like that. And it's an open storage room. It looks like there's been a lot of traffic coming in and out. And you can even see a couple people lugging up a couple bags of what looks like rice or something. But they store them in there, and they don't have it under lock and key or anything like that. It just happens to be the room that they've chosen to store it in.
Yeah. I think I'll kind of clear a space in front of it and just kind of sit down. And after a couple of minutes, just go, well, now what? and there doesn't have to be an answer. I'm not expecting some magical moment. Just Akash is currently dealing with, he is processing everything that has happened that he didn't really feel comfortable processing in front of everybody. He's in some other dude's body. He died. That sucked. He's possessed a couple of people. So.
Right. You don't get a magical moment, but feeling there in the moments where you press against the statue, it feels warm. Elsewhere, what are you folks doing?
So we weren't able to go talk to the first one.
Yeah,
and get a hold of them.
she is difficult to find. You expect that'll probably be the theme for her. Unless she calls to have a meeting with you, she's going to be difficult to get a hold of. But you can go to her clerk, the company clerk, and the one that basically serves directly at her behest. And you're a little, oh well, it's so late in the day. They might be wrapped up. They're probably already gone.
Can we leave her a voicemail?
Yeah, but sure enough, when you get there, you see that their office is open and they are just head down, below their shoulders, just holding themselves up, and they just look miserable. The desk that you've seen them with has always been very quick and clean and organized. There are cubbies that sit behind her. Behind him, that he has used for organizing and keeping things, going to the right places, inbound, outbound, all that stuff. And they're usually pretty meager offerings, right? This is a man that you've seen has been pretty efficient. When you get there today, the desk is disheveled. He looks like he hasn't been getting a lot of sleep. The cubbies are filled to bursting, and he's just swearing silently to himself. What would you guys like to do, if anything?
So Nova doesn't notice a difference in the setup or any of that, because why would she remember what this looked like before she left? And if Arthanos, I assume you have the contract since you were the one who brought the
Yeah,
thing down to her.
let's assume that Ren didn't have it because I genuinely don't remember.
All right.
We're gonna say that I had it. I think.
Yeah, I backstabbed you, and I have the contract.
Yeah.
Please pay to the order of Takesis.
But
So
yes,
I'm-
I would have had it. You know.
So I'm going to wait all of 2 seconds for the clerk to notice us before doing a heavy sigh, small foot tap, like, and then just kind of elbow Arthanos, like, just give him the contract so we can get out of here.
All right. I'll go walk up to him and just say, "Excuse me, are you all right? Is something going on?"
That's not.
You're not supposed to show empathy? That's the exact wrong thing to do.
Now he's going to want to engage in conversation.
Listen, I'm just saying you ignored me earlier. So, I'm kidding.
You think there's a consequence to my actions? That's.
How dare you?
He turns his head up at you slowly. No, I'm fine. I am.
See, he's fine. Give him the contract and we're good.
He takes his hands away and just kind of like his day dictated that this would happen with Nova, right? Like, just has this expression like, yeah, it's the right day for it.
Just that one of those like, yep, that makes sense.
You have a contract? Orders?
Yes. Here you dig it out of my. Sorry, as I scratch my fucking ear, I'll dig it out of my my pack, and hand it over, and also let them know. No, I won't, because now I'm having trouble remembering. So what was the whole deal with, like, we send them a blacksmith and she'll teach the blacksmith, right?
Right.
Mhm.
That's essentially what it was.
Send a tradesman. So
Yeah.
presumably you can pick what type of form you want that person to take. And I'll let you metagame this a little bit. Who you choose to send, or specifically the type of person that you send, is going to dictate what happens as they start to supply the army. So you send someone who specializes in weapons, you can expect your soldiers are going to have really good weapons and pretty, good everything all around that comes out of that. But you want somebody who specializes in weapons, they're going to come back learning a lot about weapons. You send someone who specializes in armor. You send someone who specializes in making magic items or unique constructs like an artificer. You're going to get that experience back.
Ooh.
Send the
That's going to
gnome.
benefit the army,
Yeah, I was
but
going to
it
say
also might benefit
send-
you.
we should send the gnome, right? Because like they already have some interesting advantages. Like, how fucking cool would it be? We should send the gnome.
That is very tempting, because I mean, like, sure, weapons and armor, that sounds good, big stats, etc. But like, yeah, no, I agree.
You're
A bigger gnome cannon.
you're going to expect this benefit not just to apply to the party, though. It's
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
apply
it's
to
a whole-
your army. So
Well,
you
yeah.
have to choose what you want that form to take, but you don't have to decide right now.
Raise the hands. Send the gnome.
I mean, like, if the gnome makes constructs, then that's less people dying, right?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It sounds beneficial.
Yummy, what do you think?
Out of game, I would say probably something defensive would be the best, because if the cities and towns are lost, then it's kind of it's over. I don't know what that could mean for who we send. In-game Gex would be like, huh?
I mean, I think we all figured out the in-game part.
Yeah.
But
It's hard because, like, part of me wants to say armor because armor, keep people safe and armor. But like seeing what the artificer comes up, what sort of fucking insanity the artificer comes up with, is really intriguing.
Yeah,
You know?
maybe she comes up with a fucking magical Gatling gun. Like, we don't know. It's a wild card.
Some wards against
If she makes a convention to bring my
fire.
friend Ren back.
Yeah, maybe she makes a mechanical dragon he can ride. Who knows? Anyway, like Tony said, we don't have to necessarily decide now. But I'll hand over the contract to the clerk and explain the whole situation with the Dow down in the mines and how she's going to work with us.
He looks not annoyed, just upset. He kind of casts his eyes on this huge stack of paperwork that he's still tending to, and he makes the decision, let's go ahead and get your report. It's going to take me forever to get to it, and it'll just delay you getting paid if I don't. And he'll take out proper forms and start to basically, I can't think of the term I'm looking for, to debrief you as you recount your events there. Having come back with, a signed contract and the full account of the events, he says, wow, that's a lot. I'll send a copy over to Marshal Vendry, and I'm sure she'll get to it sooner, but you're probably going to have to wait for the governor to... He taps on the stack of paperwork. Listen, things have been really slow lately. Past couple of days. I don't think that there's enough staff for the governor, and whatever staff he does have, everything coming out of that office is a mess. Things are going the wrong place. Compensation's been delayed. Garrisoning's been wrong. Provisioning's been wrong. Logistics just going to the wrong places. Troop movements, orders. Baker came in today saying they got a copy of orders for about 30 or so troops to get it's bad. So they need to hire more people or better people. It's just everything coming out of the office, it's slow. You're probably not going to get paid right away. I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do for that. Don't shoot the messenger. Did they say that? Yeah, they had bows. Don't shoot the messenger. But just understand it's going to take a moment. All right, we'll get to you. Nothing gets missed. I keep everything in copies.
Oh, okay, and there was nothing in particular that brought this on, as far as you know?
The war?
Right, I mean, any sort of immediate, I don't know, did someone get fired or die or something like that?
We started ramping up for the war effort. The Dragon Queen's army's forces were reported moving closer to our borders and gathering in proper mass, and this is the result.
Right, okay. Just want to make sure it wasn't something immediately perhaps solvable.
No, my own errands have been reassigned to help, but now I'm here with all of this, and I can only do one part of the job right. Once it starts going to all these people in new positions, it's just... I don't want to say it's bad leadership. The governor's been very good overall in his history. It's just right now, his office sucks. I shouldn't say that. I'm sorry.
You don't need to apologize to me. I understand it might be a bit slow getting paid and all that. I just hope the mining starts sooner rather than later, I suppose. I don't know, I guess I would have mentioned the whole, what were they, mercenaries there? are getting paid by someone who isn't there anymore.
Oh fuck, I forgot that.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
you guys
so-
did leave the goal, right? Or at least some of it.
Yeah, we left most of it.
Yeah.
And I
you can
did
do so.
intend to pay it back, and may still do so. But anyway, yeah, just like I try to impress the urgency upon this clerk.
So I'll
Relative
do my best.
urgency.
Marshal Vendry's office, despite the lack of staff that we have now, is still getting things done. I don't see my family anymore, but it's getting done. And I'm sure that she'll make sure that she follows up whenever she can find time to track this man down.
Right, of course. If there's anything we can do, please let us know.
Actually,
I mean,
yes.
once you
know
double
what?
check.
And this helps you too. You want to get paid? You want to get paid faster? Here. He'll take your contract and he grabs 2 cubbies worth of documents and just scrolls and stacks of leaflets and papers, and he'll stack them up together, and it's probably like 30 pounds of just parchment. And he says, you can take this, and then he grabs another stack, and it's another 30 pounds, and you can take this. Come on, you've got 2 arms and you got 2 bodies. You want to get paid, right?
I don't carry
Here.
things.
And he just shoves it into you.
Oh, this is heavier than it looks.
You really do me a favor, guys. I really appreciate this. But remember, don't think of me. Think of you. This is for your own benefit.
Right, all you've done is handed us papers. Where is it going?
You're going to take it to the governor himself, right? I don't have errands anymore. And you know what? His errands don't want to receive. But you know what? I bet you 2 show up with a stack of papers and they might not turn you away.
If I use a death glare hard enough at Arthanos, could it wound him even just a little bit?
Make a force of will charisma check.
Nothing bad. It's like
Any
a
fires?
Yeah, you're going to see if your force of will is strong enough to give you psychic powers to just burst one little
Damage me.
vessel in his brain.
One little vessel.
Is it Nova invents the aneurysm?
Yeah.
Jesus.
That was unmodified. I don't know if you wanted a modifier.
I mean, it beats my AC.
That is insufficient. You are still not psychic, and I guess Arthanos still doesn't care.
I feel like you set me up to fail, but fine.
It's a 1 in 20 chance.
Oh, it was going to be a 20. Okay.
To just kill you outright with some mind powers?
Oh, it's just going to kill me.
With mind bullets? I say it's fair.
Jesus Christ, a 1 in 20 chance of me just dying because she's mad.
Oh, you tell him, doggo.
Set the dogs
Yeah,
off.
sorry, give us a second.
But I think that is a good stopping point. There is a little bit more to the scene, but we'll pick it up next time. And that's also where we're going to pick up on our montage for the quest that you guys designed a long time ago. Now you might be wondering, what about that guy who a month and a half later still hasn't designed a fucking quest?
Are we talking about Yami here?
It's probably me.
Just know that I will reward everyone who participated and destroy those that did not.
Destroy the dump. All right.
Like,
Just so
you
we're
already-
clear, the mine was my idea, right?
You and Blake.
Fantastic.
You guys.
We had different interpretations of it that I think you pulled off really well, Tony.
We
Yeah, it
got
was good.
there.
Nice.
Uh,
I'll miss the Buellers.
yeah, tragic. You didn't bring one with you?
No, I don't think I can take the responsibility of having a pet rust monster in an army.
You know what? You should take all of them with you to visit the Dragon Queen's
Yeah.
army.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait,
I'd
what
enjoy
if this
the-
was all
the
just
experience.
like
An
the
elaborate
most-
ruse.
Yeah, an elaborate ruse for Ren to disrupt the army from the inside.
Take
would
this
believe that.
poison that we keep in a wine bottle for no reason as well. You know, just see what happens.
Ren's just a secret genius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whole time. Yami, fucking do your quest thing.
Yummy.
Tony, how you want to introduce the new character? Because I have an idea and it's really stupid.
Well, let's end the session here. We don't want to spoil it for our viewers.
Okay.